Hey, good afternoon, and welcome here to Bob Green Field. We're at Alumni Coliseum for Frontier Conference football as Montana Tech taking on the Raiders out of Southern Oregon. Two teams nationally ranked, two of the best, if not the best running backs in the country. And we are getting excited for what should be a great day of football. We have sunshine. Thankfully, the smoke is out of here. Last night, that wind ripped in. We had so much smoke in the valley, but we have clear skies as of right now, and we're looking forward to what is kickoff here in about 20 minutes. Paul Panisco here on Digger Vision, along with the lovely and talented Ron Haskett. Haskett, how are you?
I'm good. It's hard to believe you're in the same part of the country as last night, isn't it? We were over in Anaconda, and it sounded like something flared up behind Mount Hagen over there.
Yeah.
And that wind came up, and it was crazy. The visibility was terrible, and apparently I went to bed before 10 o'clock. Apparently it all lifted last night. People were able to see the northern lights. They're out last night and tonight. But you wake up this morning.
I obviously did too.
Yeah. You wake up this morning and you wouldn't know there was a forest fire in the area.
It got so smoky so fast, and obviously our friends in Southern Oregon land are used to that as well with, unfortunately, the fires they have had to deal with. But it was crystal clear, and that thing rolled in so fast. We knew the wind was coming. So a couple of the guys on campus and I were trying to get as many zip ties on all of our banners as we could. And I went into our production room over here, and I was messing with some stuff. And when I came back out, like it was crystal clear. And then I go into the computer and I turn my head, and all of a sudden there's no visibility. I mean, it was so incredibly fast. But luckily, we have a gorgeous day here for football here in Butte, Montana, as the Digs hosting the Raiders of Southern Oregon. This one always a phenomenal game that we look forward to year in, year out. And certainly this year with both nationally ranked, Southern Oregon 1-0 in the Frontier. They're 4-0 overall. They have jumped their way up the top 25 list. They're currently number 7 in the country. They jumped 7 spots last week after getting another big win. Montana Western is number 9 in the country. You go down the list, College of Idaho is number 14. They're tied for 14th, and Montana Tech is in 16th spot. So the Frontier Conference holds 25% of the top 16 spots in this country, and really looking forward to this one with Southern Oregon and Montana Tech.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. You don't know what's going to happen, right? You know, Southern Oregon's got a good preseason going, obviously playing really good football, basically behind the legs of Gunnar Yates.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you would take a run at the quarterback's last name before I had to try and butcher it. Ashuto?
I believe so.
But having a nice year as well. But I think Gunnar Yates has found the end zone 11 times this year. He does have one plus 300-yard game, a couple games where he's carried the ball over 30 times. Just a fantastic runner. Visited with the Tech assistant coaching staff a little bit this week regarding him as the number 1 running back in the country. Now, that's high praise. But it's really high praise when you're coaching Lander Smith, who is emerged onto the scene, you know, from the midpoint of last year's season, and what he's done for this program since then. I think he's number 4 in the country.
Number 4 in the country.
Rushing right now. Yep. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of hard hitting today. Guys want to, you know, dance with the one that bring you, right? And it sounds like both running backs looking for, you know, daylight today, right? And controlling the game, and interested to see how this is going to play out today.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. As you know, both backs are incredibly talented, different backs. Yates is breakaway speed. Yates has, you know, for Montana Tech fans, Yates is very much along the lines of like a Nolan Saraceni, where if he gets the edge and has daylight, you're just not going to catch him. And then, of course, Landers is going to try and run over anything and everything that you put in front of him. You know, 2 different style backs, 2 different style offenses, obviously. But, again, the 2 best, in my opinion, the 2 best running backs in the NAIA. Certainly in this Frontier Conference, and you know, they're going to need a whole lot more than those 2 to hang a win here in today's matchup.
If you're friends with Danny Thatcher on social media, go back and view the video of Lander Smith running the ball against Carroll College earlier this season. It's just a snapshot. It's about a 5 or 6 second clip of him running through the hole on inside zone. And it's splash, splash. He lays 3 guys down with his forearm in his hand. It is the nicest looking piece of art that summarizes him running the football. And you go back to our last game. The guy's got an unbelievable ability to see daylight and run to daylight. But I tell you what, when you meet him head-to-head, you're going to pay for it. He is a physical back, 230 pounds, 6 foot whatever, 6'1". But, it's a thing of beauty. But if you can ever go just view that clip, it's a great up-close and personal view of what, guys in the secondary used to see. I never saw really anybody like Landers Smith, but, Mike Cutler was legit. I mean, I can name names, Kirby Bright, some of these guys. But it is just unbelievable how physical of a runner Landers Smith is.
So we're getting ready for this one as Montana Tech taking on the Raiders out of Southern Oregon. Again, we thank you for joining us as we make our way through it. These two teams have met, I believe, 20 times is where we're at currently. And Montana Tech has won a few lately. So certainly this matchup has always been, it goes back to the Chuck Morrell's first game is where it always sticks for me because, it was double overtime. It was an absolute, it was as much of a street fight, I think, as any football game I've ever seen. And that would have been 2012, if memory serves correct, on this field. And since then, it has been one of the harder hitting football games. There's a ton of energy. And it is, this is one where the players, coaches, it kind of comes in a little different.
I go back to the big victory they had down in Ashland that year. And I can't name years or anything like that, but I just remember who caught, I think it was Sullivan. From Red Lodge. What was
Mike?
Mike Sullivan, the receiver from Red Lodge.
That was his dad. Sorry, it was Sean Sullivan
that caught the. I think it was the deciding or game-winning touchdown down there. But they've had some real heavyweight bouts here in the Frontier in the last. You go back to 2000, whatever it was, 10. I don't know if it was Southern Oregon a factor when Coach Green was here through 2010.
I can't remember. They played twice, I believe, before they became a Frontier Conference member, and I think 12 might have been their first year as a Frontier Conference member. But Wyatt Alexander, 219 yards, 1 touchdown, 219 yards, a new career high for Wyatt, but it is also the new school record. The previous single game record for receiving yards in a game was held by
Lorenzo Snyder.
Yes, it was. He had 200 yards in a game in 1997. So Wyatt Alexander goes for 217 against the College of Idaho in a new school record.
Records made to be broken, of course, and Lorenzo will tell you that. Yep. He's probably happy that record stood as long as it did. And in a couple weeks, Lorenzo will be going into the Hall of Fame,
yes,
which is just so deserved, and I couldn't be more proud. I hope he's listening. What a great honor to see my guy. Lorenzo I became really close with because he did stay and coach a year or two after he got done playing. So, Lorenzo, fantastic player. And I don't compare him. I don't try to compare him to the Wyatt Alexanders or anybody else, Deion Williams, who I saw on the tailgate today. But all fantastic athletes, and I couldn't be happier for Lorenzo.
Well, again, we are getting ready for the start of this one. Montana Tech taking on Southern Oregon, as Southern Oregon, the number 7 team in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country. And we are getting ready for kickoff here on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. We do have some pretty good wind out of the west. We'll see how that affects us as the day continues. But we are certainly going to have some fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break. We're back here to Bob Green Field after this.
It's important for Butte Auto to partner with community partners such as Montana Tech Athletics because of the commonalities of goals that we have for the Butte community. With Tech Athletics, we look at it as a way to not only provide great things for the community, whether that's attending football games, volleyball games, basketball games. It also helps Tech Athletics to have further outreach to bring in more athletes, more students, and really add to the diversity of Butte. Butte Auto and Montana Tech Athletics. We're going to do great things together.
Well, you see Nucor there on our screen, and of course it is homecoming here for Montana Tech, brought to us by Nucor. We thank them for making it possible to bring you the stream. They have been down in the tailgate as well. This is how sad it is. Normally when it's homecoming and Nucor is hooking us up, they normally do pork chops. And I didn't even get over to check if they were doing pork chops or pasty or what Nucor was doing in their tent.
I never got over there either. You know, I was lucky. I ran into an old teammate of mine from back in 1985 when I walked through the doors in the locker room. The group of guys that came before me, so the upperclassmen, they're having a reunion of sorts in town here. So Rick Jensen, who's not a stranger to the area, he was originally from, I think, the Chicago area, but he hung his hat out here. He's lived in Anaconda forever. His son, Luke Jensen, played for Butte Central, played for Carroll College. Yep. But he told me at the Carroll game earlier this year, they were going to have a reunion. So I got to see a bunch of my old teammates. These were all upperclassmen. Rick Zook, middle linebacker for us. He was the Sam linebacker. Angelo Sabino, Mike linebacker. Bob Neefus, deep front guy. Rick Jensen. I know I'm going to miss some names here. Jeff Colby, deep front guy. And Ron Layton, who we've talked about the last few years, Secret Service guy.
Yep. I talked to him yesterday. He was floating around the hyper, so I said hi.
And got to see about Kurt Johnson. I just ran into him right before I came up. That's why I was a little late getting up here. I ran into Kurt and his son. His son looks like Kurt Johnson did back in 1983 or 84 or 85. But it was great to see those guys. You know, they look good. Rick Zook wants to put on the pads and come out and play. And I told him, buddy, I'm 58. You're a little older than me. That's a bad idea. But, he's still, you know, that grit is still in a lot of their eyes. And they still follow Montana Tech football. They listen to us on a weekly basis when they can. And real high complimentary to you and your coverage and all that stuff. But, God, it was great seeing those guys. So I didn't make it to the back half of the tailgate. Long story short,
we have a lot of folks here, which is outstanding to see again. A gorgeous day, and it has been a long time. Montana Tech did not play a home game in September, as our last game here was on August 28th when they beat Georgetown of Kentucky. They went to Carroll that next week, and then they have been they've been in Oregon and Idaho, as they went to Eastern Oregon, went to the College of Idaho, and now back at home. So the good news is the big trips are out of the way. Still some road games left, but the bulk of their games are going to be played here in Butte, Montana on the new turf here at Bob Green Field.
Yeah, and that trip, I mean, you go back to the end of last week's game, scoring late, needing an extra point to essentially seal the victory, and getting that thing blocked, that hurts. You know, they go to overtime. The Yotes score in overtime, go for two, because they had missed like 4 or 5 extra points. They were struggling kicking the ball as well. And Montana Tech, unfortunately, picked off in their series, and the game ends. But Montana Tech could have got through those 2 really long road trips at 2-0. Boy, that would have been a great deal coming in here at 4-0.
Well, we are about to see the Digs enter the field here through hollowed ground, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Thielen at quarterback, the senior leader, has thrown 55% of his passes. He's completed 58 of his 106 attempts. He's thrown for 907 yards, averaging about 227 yards a game. 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions thus far for Blake Thielen at quarterback. As we continue here with Montana Tech, of course, Landers Smith in the backfield. Landers, 96 rushes, 492 yards. He's averaging 123 a game, and that is good for number 4 in the country. He has 5 rushing touchdowns and a 44-yarder earlier this year. So that's kind of the main back. We'll probably see Cade Wyants at times. We'll see if they kind of come out with the Wildcat with Cade Wyants. Otherwise, Christian Vetter in the backfield. You're going to see Ethan Renner at times. But it is going to be the bulk of the afternoon is going to be Landers Smith.
Yeah, and getting back, and this won't be the first time you've heard me mention that. Kyle Sampson's led Ore Diggers are a little different versus like the Chuck Morrell or say Bob Green Ore Diggers. Sampson will hang his hat on one back a lot more solely than those other guys were. You know, when Morrell was here, it was a 2 or 3 headed monster generally. I still like that plan to give Landers Smith maybe a little rest. You know, a play or 2 off, make that defense see a different back there. You know, they'll see that inside zone cut up or cut back or whatever a little differently. I think allows the defense or forces the defense to play that zone running attack that they do so well a little more honestly. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to I ran into Christian Vetter's father on the way through the gate in here. He's ready to go, and it's got to be nice for Christian. He hasn't had a break injury-free for multiple games in his tenure at Montana Tech. Yeah. And so he's healthy, ready to go, and, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. You mentioned Cade Wyant in the Wildcat version of this offense. I saw a little bit of it, but maybe eager to see a little more.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because I feel like he's a guy they're trying to get a few more touches on the football. I mean, he certainly has proven he deserves those. So just the idea of figuring out a way to get him reps, you know, whether it's in the backfield, whether it's in the Wildcat, whatever the case is, I love that they're kind of continuing to explore that possibility. It's little guy football night. We have the little guy football teams. We're out with the Ore Diggers. They'll stay on the sideline here for the national anthem, and just a tremendous. This is just a great day. You know, the kids run out of hollowed ground with them, and certainly just the excitement for these kids is palpable.
Well, the best part about this is these kids that used to walk around 10, 15, 20 years ago with Grizzly and Cat jerseys. And don't get me wrong, there's still some of that, you know, because the local hero, right, Tommy Malott, the quarterback of the Montana State Bobcats, and a mix of others that have gone either to Missoula or Bozeman. But these kids are fully engulfed in Montana Tech football. They're wearing Tech jerseys. And I go back to earlier, the early part of the week when they did the Montana Tech, when the players go and walk to school with the kids?
Yes, it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
It was great. Kids get, you know, there's some videos out there, kids getting out fired up. Hey, that's Bo Damaris, you know. I mean, that's good stuff.
It's awesome. It's just such a good day. We are getting our national anthem, so with that, we will pause. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in just a moment. Presentation of our colors and our national anthem from the Montana Tech Pep Band as we get ready for the start of this one. Montana Tech taking on the Raiders of Southern Oregon. Again, a Frontier Conference battle. And some big ones obviously left on the calendar, but Southern Oregon 1-0 in conference, 4-0 overall. Right now, Carroll College is 2-0 in the Frontier, 3-1 overall. Montana Tech 1-1 in Frontier play. They're 3-1 overall. There is a logjam at 1-1 as Western is 1-1 in conference, 3-1 overall. College of Idaho is 1-1, 3-2 overall. Arizona Christian is 1-1. They're 1-2 overall. Eastern is 1-1 and 1-3 overall. Rocky is 0-2 in conference, and Northern is 0-1 in Frontier Conference play as of right now.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the best part about what you just said is all the teams in the conference, and it's only going to get bigger. This is great stuff. You know,
boy, next year is going to be crazy.
Yes, yeah, it'll be exciting. Some new blood. And programs coming in to, you know, game up and start to meet expectations, right?
Yep.
You know, because it's, you mentioned it earlier, the Frontier occupying 25% of the top 16 spots in the country. That's a high mark, right?
Yes,
and so you know real quick that you've got to improve recruiting, coaching, and all that just to compete for the conference title, let alone get into the national playoff.
Well, our ladies and gentlemen, at center field, delivering the game ball is Bill Daly, a 1969 Montana Tech graduate with a degree in petroleum engineering. He's the CEO of Centaur Energy, bringing over 45 years of executive experience in the oil and gas industry with hands-on work in more than 50 countries. Jerry Schuyler is joining Bill on the field. He's today's honorary captain. He is performing the coin toss. Jerry is a 1977 Montana Tech graduate with a degree in petroleum engineering. He has an extensive career in the oil and gas industry, and he serves on the Montana Tech Foundation Board of Directors and a whole lot more. Jerry, last night was honored with the Chancellor's Award of Distinction, the highest honor the university can bestow, and I believe Jerry's going to come up and talk to me at halftime.
Oh, nice.
Jerry, it was a great night for him, just a tremendous honor. And certainly look forward to talking to him. I knew he has 5 siblings. There are 6 kids in their family, and all 6 of them graduated from Tech. But the beauty of it is he was going through the rest of the family. His family's like 19 deep in Tech grads.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible.
Good history.
Yeah, we'll talk to Jerry a little bit later on as the picture being taken on the field. And again, thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon as we get ready to roll here, Haskett, for Southern Oregon. What's important for the Raiders to get started early?
Well, you don't have to go too far into Montana Tech's history. So if you're Southern Oregon as an offense, know that Montana Tech, admittedly so, struggled on defense. That was one of their focuses in the offseason, right? Getting some more depth. Maybe, just mainly more depth in that defensive front. And when I say the front, not just the front 3 or 4, that front 7. And they went out and did that. But Southern Oregon doesn't have to look too far back. College Idaho had a nice day offensively against this Montana Tech defense. But College Idaho threw the ball really well last weekend. And so we mentioned Southern Oregon really likes to run the ball. They got Yates, and you're going to see a lot of him. So I think they're, regardless, are going to try to establish that running game early.
Great return up the left side. Daylight off to the races is Levi Torgerson. Torgerson to the house. Levi Torgerson, there are no flags. Torgerson takes it to the house. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
How long has it been since we've seen a returned kickoff for a touchdown at Montana Tech?
Hold on, I've got that information. I do believe
special teams, and you don't combine or conflate all the special teams, kickoff, PAT cover, whatever. But special teams is special teams, and they answered after last week's blunder at the end of that game.
Levi Torgerson takes it to the house. The last time Montana Tech returned to kickoff for a touchdown was Mark Estes. He did it, let me check here, against Eastern Oregon in 2021.
2020. I was going to say 3 years ago. That was when he first got here.
Right when he first got here. Yeah, and I think it was early in the season, too.
I was hoping to run into him in Nashville a couple weeks ago, but I didn't. Thought maybe we could line dance together or something.
You thought he was going to hook you up or something?
No, I don't need a hookup. I was with the hookup.
Oh, my. So a penalty on the PAT. We'll try it one more time. Levi Torgerson takes it to the house. Great breakaway speed by Levi down the sideline. So just like that, Montana Tech jumps on the board first.
I can't imagine how excited his older brother Kyle, who is essentially done for the year, is what I'm told. A great tenure here at Montana Tech. Played the extra year or two, everything he could to help out this football team, and injured now. But I can't even imagine how excited Kyle is for his younger brother, who stepped off the basketball team to come play in his absence last year, and to make a big play like that to start this football game.
Well, so Montana Tech goes up 7-0 here, just like that. Levi Torgerson takes it to the house, and Montana Tech is on the board 13 seconds in.
Not a bad 100 with the football in your hand.
No
That's
joke.
13 seconds with a little bend in it. Right? Did I do the math right there?
I was impressed. I mean, that his breakaway, when he got to the edge, no one was catching up to him. So Levi Torgerson, as you mentioned, came to Montana Tech as a basketball guy. Last year stepped in, played football. I mean, he's all-state football. He played in the Shrine Game, if memory serves correct. First team all-state in football and basketball, and obviously came in last year, played football and basketball, and he's going to be playing basketball again this year. And from my understanding, he's going to be seeing a lot of time in basketball this year.
Now, obviously, he's fast, right?
Yeah.
But early in the season, I'm in contact with Coach Torgerson a lot. We text a lot, call a lot.
Yeah.
And he said something about time 20 or time 40s in the preseason. And he mentioned Kyle and Levi. And I said, well, who had the better time? He didn't answer it. He just answered with a smiling or laughing emoji.
Yeah.
And I said, well, and he goes, Levi's not fast. So I thought that's really funny. Now he comes out and outruns the whole football field. That might just show you how fast the older brothers are.
So as we get ready to roll on the other side, Shudo will bring them out at quarterback. Let's talk about Shudo at quarterback. He is a senior. He's hit 67% of his passes, 64 and 96 for 963 yards, getting about 240 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. And, of course, in the backfield with him is Gunnar Yates, the nation's leading running back of the NAIA ranks.
4-man front to start this show.
Cleveland in motion. Yates gets the carry. He gets swallowed up, a short gain of 2. So the defensive front collapses on him as Yates with the carry.
Yeah, tough to tell who was over there. It looked like Wyatt DeVos there at end stood his lead blocker up.
I'm with you on that. I think it was DeVos. Great Falls, obviously very prevalent in the Montana Tech front and linebacker core.
Boston Oaks, and there's a guy that's really stepped up. I make sure he's in the game before I start talking about TJ a whole ton.
2nd down and 8 out of the shotgun. Shudo. And the handoff, play action. Downfield, almost picked off. Angel Sanchez. I think it surprised him, but it looked like it was going to hit him right in the face mask.
Angel gave a little ground there and came out of his back pedal, made an aggressive move, but he was going to the receiver, right? He realized that, oh, shoot, he ran a stick route or a stop route. I've got a break on this ball, and the thing hit him right in the middle of the 0.
3rd down and 8. Crowd getting loud here in Butte, Montana. So 3rd down and 8. One back at home is Yates. Shudo out of the shotgun.
You'll want to walk it. It seems Yates or Shudo's #1 target has been Cleveland here as of late.
He has 19 catches on the year. Comeback route is caught, and that's going to be 1st down yardage by 1. They needed 8. They get 9, and with the reception is Trevor Jasko. Jasko out of Central Point, Oregon, a 6'2" sophomore, will move the chains for the Raiders. Ball at the 36-yard line. Montana Tech defensively, 4-man front. Handoff going to go to Yates. Puts his head down, and he gets swallowed up. No gain. Defensive front again holds.
91 and 99. That's a tough load. That's Oaks and DJ Brown, who he met in that defensive front. And that's good, right? Those guys both have knuckles in the ground. So what's that tell you on that inside zone? They're beating blocks at the line of scrimmage. Their hands are free. They're on their feet and able to make tackles at the line of scrimmage. Usually those deep front guys just want to eat up blockers.
2nd down and 10 here for the Raiders. Yates in the backfield. 3 receiver spread. Yates will now flare out to the right side. Airs it up, pass complete. Great defense. That's going to be a gain of 2 is all. As they swing the pass out on the far side, and with the reception out there is going to be Jackson Clemmer, the tight end.
That's McNeil coming up from safety to make the hit. Just staying on top of the route. It was a small route, right? Quick little 3-4 yard out. But before he could get his pads turned vertical, McNeil was into him. Flattened him, just for about a 1-yard gain, 2-yard gain.
Shudo and Clemmer, both coming out of Camas, both paper makers. Camas High School. 3rd down and 8. One back at home. Montana Tech showing a little pressure. They'll just bring 4. Stepping up, he'll drop it off underneath. Pass is complete. 1st down yardage and a whole lot more. Across the 40, 35, down to the 29-yard line. He swung it out to Gunnar Yates. He had daylight. And Gunnar Yates will move the chains deep into Montana Tech territory as he'll go down at the 28-yard line of the Orediggers.
Good job of protection by the Raiders up front. It gave Shuto a chance to look at number 1, 2, and 3, and then a great check down to Yates. Yates hasn't caught a ton of balls this year. He hasn't caught anything for 6, but you know, that's a great job, a real mature move by a Shuto, going check, 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 get it to my back. Obviously, nobody out there to account for Gunnar Yates, and he's able to pick up a big chunk.
Empty. Now stepping into the backfield is going to be Hidalgo. And Hidalgo will get the carry. He bounces left, switches hands. He's inside the 20, down to the 15 as he's shoved out of bounds. Hidalgo will move the chains again here for the Raiders. That's going to be a pickup of 14. And the Raiders continuing to march down the field. Montana Tech leading 7-0 after an opening kickoff return.
Legitimate second option there at tailback. Isaiah Hidalgo, 5'8", 175-pounder, coming in behind Gunnar Yates, and the offense really not missing a beat.
First down and 10 at the Montana Tech 15-yard line. A Shuto out of the shotgun. Staying in the backfield is Hidalgo. Tight end left, receiver on each side. And the handoff, play action. They're going to air it up left side. Almost picked off, but what a great catch on the far side as Clemmer, the tight end again. Clemmer, I believe their second leading receiver coming into this at tight end. He's able to make the catch as that one nearly picked off again.
Well, that's McNeil there.
Yep.
You know, he's trying to step in front of that ball. Now, granted, he misses it, but sometimes you get a little ball hungry as a defensive back and you want to stay on your feet and make a play. You know, sometimes you just got to get horizontal, get that thing knocked away, and, you know, live to see another play. You know, he takes a chance, stays on his feet. The ball's beyond his outstretched hands. They get the completion to 2nd and 2 when that ball very well could have been knocked away had he left his feet.
2nd and 2 from the Montana Tech 8-yard line. Handoff is going to go right side to Yates. He's inside the 5, keeps his balance, fighting down to the 2-yard line. He gets horse collar down to the ground.
Yeah, we'll
Late
see.
flag.
Might be a hand on the face mask here as the Tech defense got him to the ground. We'll see what it is. Flag came awful late.
Yeah. See what we get from our white hat here. Again, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision.
Personal foul, face mask on the deep end. Number 9, half the distance of the goal. Automatic
So
first
personal
down.
foul, face mask will bring it down to the 2-yard line. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, full house backfield. Actually, Wildcat has taken the direct snap, is going to be Yates. Gunnar Yates will take the direct snap as he wants to go off tackle left. Spins, gets to the goal line, and he gets in. So Yates will break the goal line. He'll get in for his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And Gunnar Yates brings the Raiders within 1 of Montana Tech.
Yeah, just a full house. I mean, realistically, in that setup, all you can hope for Montana Tech defensively, you know, you need maybe a big play in the backfield, but more somebody that's maybe not comfortable taking the snap, mishandling the snap, and getting them for a loss of yardage there. But
they're going to go, they run this kind of swing and gate look here. They run all the offensive linemen across. Now they're going to shift. And we will see the kicking unit step in and attempt the PAT here. 10:05 left to play in the opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 7-6. The Raiders looking to tie it up. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we're tied 7-all here on the campus of Montana Tech. The Raiders' offense taking the ball down the field for points. We'll see if Montana Tech's offense gets to get on the field here in just a few minutes.
Won't.
Maybe they won't. You never know. 7-7 our score with the timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the Bob Green Field, Alumni Coliseum after this.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy where high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Hey, we're back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech. It's homecoming, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to roll. And Montana Tech's kicking unit, or rather return unit, is back awaiting the kickoff. Southern Oregon, a really nice offensive series that time, as they go 10 plays, 74 yards, and get the points. On the right side, turning it upfield with the return is JoJo Wallace. JoJo Wallace across the 40, 45, 50. JoJo down the sideline, and he goes out of bounds. JoJo Wallace.
He's still running.
He helped me. He came up and sat in with us as we did play-by-play for volleyball on Thursday night. I love JoJo. Will be in the backfield. With him is Lander Smith. Levi Torgerson goes in motion. He's looking at Levi the whole way. Curl route back, gets the pass. Levi up across the 50 and no more. Just across midfield. That's going to be a gain of 7. Bring up 2nd down and 3 here for the Digs.
Good job by Blake Thielen rolling out. He, if there's one tendency I've seen out of Blake in a couple of these games, whether I've watched him on the internet or watched him live, is he's starting to stare down receivers, but he did a nice job of looking deep, looking to 1-2, and coming back to Levi for the safe outlet.
Quick snap, handoff going to go to Landers. Landers head down, goes nowhere. He's going to lose a yard. Lander Smith gets chopped down here on the near side.
Defensive back, 5'9", 175-pound Dylan Daniels coming up and getting into Lander Smith's legs here on the edge. He's the right side cornerback, but nice job. You know how I love those cornerbacks that'll stick their nose in and make tackles, and Daniels does a nice job there, shortening that edge, outside arm free, making the tackle. 3rd down and 4 here for the Digs. 3 receivers out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. In motion, Wyatt Alexander. He had 217 yards receiving a week ago. 4-man rush across the middle, pass is caught and gets tripped up. It's going to be a gain of 2. And with the reception, Logan Kennedy at tight end. That's going to bring up 4th down and 2 at the Raider 49-yard line. It's only a yard difference, but I don't like that spot there. Who's our tight end?
Landers. Or no, not Landers. Excuse me. It's Logan Kennedy.
Excuse me. Kennedy reaches and makes the catch at the 48-yard line and gets hit and driven back and lands at the 49. He should get that forward progress. It's a yard at this point is a huge difference.
The offense stays 4th down and 2, and the Raiders are going to call a timeout.
He should get that yard. That's where the catch started. That's where he made contact and secured the ball, was at the 48.
8:07 left to play here in the first quarter. We're tied up 7-all. Frontier Conference action here. 2 ranked teams. Southern Oregon, number 7 in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country.
It sounds like I'm splitting hairs, but I am standing right on the 48-yard line.
As of right now, let's see here. For Southern Oregon, 10 offensive plays, 74 yards. Ashuto was 4 of 5 for 52. And Hidalgo had 1 carry for 13. Thielen on the other side right now, 2 for 2 for 9 yards. As the team's huddling up here. So we'll see what the Digs come out with here. They ran up to the line of scrimmage on 4th and 2. Does the offense stay out, or do they bring in first-team All-American Andrew Olmos to try and knock it down into Coffin Corner?
I'm not going to say I like the decision if they do go for it. I think it's I'm fighting for that yard, right, verbally. I think if it's a yard, yes. I think if it's 2 yards here, I punt the ball. But Lander Smith back there, I just don't know. They're going to run a bunch at him here to the wide side, so you're going to see, like, run off, bend in, and somebody maybe on and out. Now they're going to bunch them up on the right side, and we'll see.
4th and 2, heavy to the right, handoff, play action. They're going to run it out here to the tight end, wide open. Logan Kennedy off to the races. 20, 15, Kennedy with a stiff arm. Down to the 5, knocked out of bounds at the 3.
He couldn't wait to get that stiff arm in.
Could not.
He winded that thing up for 15 yards.
That's a tremendous play call. Everything is going right. They come back here to the
by Blake Thielen.
So the offense up here, 1st and goal. Handoff. Boy, not much there again as Landers gets hauled in right at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4.
Do you get the sense that both defenses prepared this week for Landers Smith and Gunnar Yates?
Geez, I can't imagine why.
But you got to keep at it, right? You got to keep at it. We talk about that all the time. It's going to be smack, 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 and then stuff's going to break once in a while.
1 back, 3 receivers tight. Now they're going to move twin tight. And actually, Kennedy's going to line up in the backfield. Receiver on each end of the formation. Handoff is going to go to Landers Smith. He'll pound it ahead down to the 2. Gain of 2.
You mentioned the comparison with Gunnar Yates to Nolan Saraceni. And when I think of Nolan Saraceni, I think of that day at Carroll College, those 4 touchdowns. But what gets lost in that day was there were a lot of runs for 1 or 2 or minus 1 or 2 yards. He just happened to break one for 33, 1 for 11 or 13, 1 for 80, and 1 for 99.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because they stuck with it.
Yep. 6:35 left to play here in this first quarter. We're tied up 7-all. Montana Tech knocking on the door. The Digs bring the offense up. Blake Thielen, 1 back at home. Receiver on each side of the formation. Thielen, play action, looking left across the middle, wide open, touchdown Montana Tech. They go to the tight end in the back of the end zone, and the Digs will grab the lead back 13-7 over Southern Oregon with 6:16 left to play. Take a look at the replay.
I think that's Pierce, isn't it? Or is it Logan?
I think it kind of looks like Pierce from here. And I can't even get a number on the replay.
Boy, those numbers are tough to see. The orange and white numbers are plastered against the black jersey.
Down inside the Case IH red zone. Take a look at the replay there as a great pitch and catch. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Montana Tech leading 14-7.
Landon Barger.
Media timeout.
We are making our way through this opening quarter. 6:16 left to play in this first quarter. It looks like we're not getting a media, so we'll go ahead and hold on to it right here.
Sorry about that. It was Derek Pierce. I had to wait till it was within the cheating ability of my reading glasses to see.
Boy, and that's, you get a guy like Pierce catching the football, that opens up a world of opportunities because, coming into this year, they obviously have a really good tight end group, but Pierce is kind of the blocking tight end. He's big, physical, he's really strong, and that's usually when you see him is in blocking situations. So the idea of not only being an exceptional blocker, but if you have good hands that you can rely on, right. That's going to open a whole lot of possibility. 6:16 left to play here in this opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 14-7. Blake Thielen is 4 of 4 for 57 yards. Logan Kennedy 3 catches for 50 yards.
Sorry to go silent on you. I was seeing if anybody was sending any score updates from anywhere else.
So the Digs ready to kick it away here. Southern Oregon's offense will get another go. They had a very nice offensive series last time. 10 plays, 74 yards, 7 points. And this one will go out the back of the end zone. So good to see as they hammer it through the back of the end zone. No return possible. And they'll start things off out at the 25. So Southern Oregon, a Shudo at quarterback. He's 4 of 5 for 52 yards thus far.
We'll see if this Montana Tech defense learned anything in that first series. That Southern Oregon did what they do. They tried to run the ball, got a couple big chunk plays via the passing game, but all in all, this Montana Tech defense looks fairly prepared against this offense early on. They had maybe a couple of assignment errors on that first series, and they paid for it. But this is a high-powered offense, and it's going to be tough to keep kind of under wraps today.
First down and 10 here for the Raiders. One back at home, 3 receivers. Pitch goes left side to Yates. Yates trying to find the edge, and he does not get it. He's going to get swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Yates. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that looked like Cole Wyant getting down there from middle linebacker, scraping down the line of scrimmage. Montana Tech's not doing anything too fancy on defense right now. Just a 4-man surface, active linebacker play, showing kind of a shell coverage, 2 safeties. I haven't watched to see how they're dropping out of there, if they're walking one up into an alley or if they're just playing, cloud in a corner or whatnot. But, yeah, nothing too fancy. I haven't seen a lot of pressure, a lot of stunt packages, just playing them straight up.
2nd down and 10. Actually, they say 2nd and 9 officially. Yates will go in motion. He'll flare out to the right. Drop back pass. It's complete across the 30 to the 34-yard line. With the reception is going to be Sawyer Cleveland. Cleveland, a graduate student out of Corvallis, Oregon, excuse me. Yellow. Brings up 3rd down and 1 here for the Raiders.
There, Montana Tech brought late pressure. I think that might have been Whitcomb that came late. They just brought a 5-man rush. Excuse me. Southern Oregon picked it up, and Ashuto was able to find, he's kind of been his go-to guy the last 2 or 3 games in Cleveland.
Back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 1. Quick handoff, play action, slant route, and we're going to get that one knocked into the turf. Great job, Angel Sanchez, but a flag down on the far side of the field.
Yeah, so you're either going to get offsides here or possible movement or some kind of a shift change offensively. But that was a great play by Sanchez. He's in good position, defending the upfield shoulder and getting his downfield arm across to the football. But it looks like this may go against Montana Tech.
See what we have here. So the white hat.
Legal motion on the offense, number 8. Penalties decline.
So they decline it. That's going to bring up 4th down here for the Raiders.
Their offense is still on the field here.
And now they're going to shift out.
Yeah, this is probably a wise decision.
Little deep. 4:49 left to play here in the opening quarter.
It's become so in vogue for teams to go for it on 4th down, 4th and short, and they always talk about the metrics and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't always agree with it. And I would say, when you look at it and say they shouldn't do this or they should do this, I'm probably wrong more than I'm right, but you know me, I'll still voice my opinion.
Oh, I know. I'm very, very familiar with that. Snap to the punter is good. And we get whistles aplenty. It feels like that might have been snapped a little early.
Penalty, 4th down.
Okay, so that'll benefit the Ore Diggers, one would assume.
See, now this is where I would fake it.
4th down and 6.
You're worried about the fake on 4th and 1, right? But then they get the 5-yard penalty. You say, oh, they can't wait to kick this thing away, and then you run the fakesy on them.
Fakesy. 4th and 6. Punting unit. Good snap. Little rollout. Kick is away. Levi gets everybody away. Takes a really good Southern bounce. That's going to die inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Unfortunately for Levi, that's a 65-yard punt. He's looking right into that sun. He cannot go field that. And you've heard me 1,000 times say field the punt, right?
Timeout.
But he is looking right into that Southern sun. And that's a guy who wants another return.
So we have a timeout on the field. So with that, we'll take one. Montana Tech leading 14-7. Their offense will get another go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is Homecoming, sponsored by Nucor, and we're back after this.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Welcome back here once again to Bob Green Field. You see the Nucor logo there. Of course, homecoming brought to us by Nucor. They have sponsored our homecoming now for several years, honestly, and just do a tremendous job. Always a great tailgate. And they certainly know the importance of Montana Tech grads. First down and 10 from the 10-yard line. Handoff is going to go to Landers. Landers bounces off a one, fights his way out to the 15-yard line. There's Landers Smith.
Yeah, there's a little more of what he's used to. He's always going to see contact, but they had a little space there at the line of scrimmage for him to move through and get his momentum going forward before he met contact, and that's where he gets really good.
Second down and 5 here for the Digs. 3 receivers out wide to the right side. Ball at the 15-yard line. Smith in the backfield. Hard counts. Try to get him to jump. Now they'll change the play here as they come back to the line of scrimmage. Just under 4 minutes left to play here in this opening quarter. Hand off to Landers. He tries to get offside. He does so on the right angle. Good cut by Smith. He's inside the 30, 35, down to the 39-yard line. Tremendous run by Landers Smith. And he makes his way all the way out to the 39-yard line. Take a look at this run. Great footwork by Landers. We talk about the bruising aspect, but watch the footwork right here. He's like, whoop.
And then he's like, I got my feet. Now I'm going to go try and hurt someone. Watch this. Bang.
Our Case Construction instant replay. Third down and 10 here for the Digs at their 39-yard line. 3 receivers, split backs here for the Digs. And handoff is going to go to Landers again. Landers across the 45, out to the 49. That's very close, if not first down yardage.
What gets lost in his power and his ability just to run people over is his jump cuts and ability to move laterally. And you saw a little bit of it there. He just does a great job. I mean, he knows when to punish people and he knows when to run to daylight.
Seconds and very short. You take a shot here to Wyatt. Wyatt Alexander split wide left.
They're going to give him the first down here. So, and yes, I would still take a shot to Wyatt.
I think I do at this point as well. 2 receivers left, one to the right. Split backs here for Blake Thielen. Tight end in motion. That's Logan Kennedy. Stops just off the edge. Hand off to Landers. Landers cuts back at the 45, 40, down to the 39-yard line. He obviously heard us talking about trying to throw the ball to Wyatt Alexander. So Landers Smith all of a sudden has opened himself up a can, and watch this run again by Landers. Just that great cut again.
There's always something I want to say, but I'm not going to say it to you if you remind me until the last game and the last series of the season.
All right. Landers Smith right now, 6 carries, 40 yards. Thank Jason on the replay. Tight end as Pierce goes to the left side. Man in motion. Out of the shotgun, Blake Thielen, play action, pressure coming. Blake gets away from it. He's rolling right, looking downfield, has all kinds of time, and just throws it away. I got cut up on that one, looking downfield to see what he had. He got away from a rusher and then just kind of was looking downfield for anything, and just not much there.
Well, he only had 2 guys in the route, and they were both kind of away from him. He had to escape the pocket to the wrong direction of where his receivers were possibly going to spring open. So he had to wait for, like a scramble rally out of his receivers and just didn't get it in time.
14-7 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Southern Oregon. Raiders bring 4 up to the line of scrimmage. The Digs changing things up offensively. Out of the shotgun, 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Blake Thielen, the senior quarterback, out of the shotgun, as I mentioned. Across the middle, pass is tipped and almost picked off. Hello, that was a tremendous play defensively that time, as getting up and getting a hand on it was Purcell. Iona Purcell, the linebacker out of Hawaii.
Yeah, that's just a good pass drop out of the linebacker. Thielen didn't see him. They tried to get Alexander crossing the field on the dig route. And good linebacker play, inside linebacker play, if they know how to drop and, read windows and read quarterback's eyes. Purcell does a great job there. Almost got an interception. And, clearly Thielen wanted to get the ball to Alexander.
Third down and 10, 3 receivers, 1 back. Blake Thielen, long snap count. Here comes the blitz. Picked up. Thielen wants the deep ball. There's no one out there. It's intercepted at the 3-yard line. And coming down with that pick, I do believe for the Raiders.
We got Laundry in the backfield. We'll see if it's a hold or maybe a late hit on the quarterback. But the way Thielen's reacting here, it may be a hold. But when it's all said and done, there's no receiver in the area. This is about as good as a punt could have turned out.
Truly. So Fei gets the interception.
Big props to Nick Michelotti. You know, they got mixed up on the communication, quarterback to receiver, but he was heads up enough to see the ball get intercepted and to go make the tackle inside the 5-yard line.
So that will give the Raiders the football down inside the 10. See where they're going to mark it here. It's at the 4, right?
3 or 4,
yep. So the 4-yard line, like you mentioned, a really good punt is what you're looking at there.
Yeah. You got to be smart defensively. You know, try and get a 3 and out here. Get the ball back in really good field position. Yeah, you have to expect a lot of Gunnar Yates here as well. They got 2 tight ends.
Yep, one on each side of the formation. A Shudo out of the shotgun. 2 receivers on his right. Now man comes in motion. Lead blocker for Yates. He gets through the first level and leans forward for a gain of nearly 5. Good secondary push that time. Felt like his fullback got him in the backside and gave him a little shove. That's Glumbick. It looked like on paper as a linebacker.
Montana Tech's getting good deep front play. Trey Yates that time there in the middle at nose tackle or 1 or 3 technique there. He runs off the field, but they're disengaging up front. You see Sky Stefanik back in that defensive end, but they're disengaging and making that second level blocking for the Raider offense a little tougher.
Second down at 5. Handoff going to go left side. Switching hands out on the edge. Downfield across the 20, 25, and out of bounds at the 28-yard line is Gunnar Yates. So Yates gets a little daylight, and he moves the chains here for the Raiders.
They actually had him stepping out at about just beyond the...
Choose from 9 brands. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Back here once again to homecoming, brought to us by Nucor. Distinguished alumni being honored on the field. We will talk about them as this broadcast continues. Had a great night last night at the Butte Country Club.
Good to see Jenny Miskimmons. Is she the head of petroleum at Colorado School of Mines?
Colorado School of Mines.
Yeah, she was a volleyball player here when I was here. A great person. Just embodies everything that Montana Tech's all about. And, always a friendly face and somebody to visit with. Yeah. Got to visit with her in the tailgate for a little bit.
Yeah, she was got a distinguished alumni, and also Scott Rosenthal is out there on the field. Scott Rosenthal in charge of the mining department here at Montana Tech. He and his bride, well, they bought a mucker with, they bought half of a mucker for Montana Tech last year. And I was lucky enough to be there when the kids saw it the first time. It was a tremendous night. Brand spanking new mucker, like a $500,000 rig, and on campus here. So those 2 individuals and more getting our distinguished alumni recognition last night. First, so the offense here for the Raiders. They're looking at 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line. Get a little windy here today. Wind's kind of shifting out of the northwest right now. And we're ready to roll. So a Shudo out of the shotgun. A Shudo, play action, lost it for a moment. And the comeback route is complete across the 33 to the 34-yard line. He hits his main man in, looked like, actually, Barthel with the reception.
You know, alignment and formation has become, if anybody that's watching the NFL, you know, the illegal formation. And they're essentially saying that the tackles on the left or right side of the line of scrimmage are lining up in the backfield, right? Yep. I love that they're policing that at the NFL level. I wish they would police it here. If you look at Southern Oregon, their right tackle is in the backfield. No part of his helmet's crossing that center's rear end. And, boy, I'd like to see that formation stuff cleaned up a little bit.
First down and 10. Trips receivers right, one back at home. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here it comes. Handoff to Yates. Yates trying to get to the edge. He's across the 35-40. Good speed, 45-50. He's out to the 49-yard line. The ball comes out. The official goes down. It's going to be a pickup of about 17.
Yeah, the ball go out of bounds a little backwards there. I think the ball's at the 48-yard line.
Now it looks like...
Oh, now they got it set up at the 48-yard line on the other side of midfield.
So 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Nice run that time by Yates in the backfield. Yates, as of right now, that's his biggest run. 6 carries, 42 yards. 19-yarder there for him, his biggest of the afternoon. Montana Tech leading 14-7, just underway here in the second quarter. Trips receivers left. Little confusion, it looks like, by the receivers here on this near side for the Raiders. They're going to run option. Pitch goes to the deep back, turning it upfield and just not going to get there, as with the carry is Hidalgo again, and he gets tripped up quickly by Peyton Gonzer.
Whitcomb does such a nice job of forcing the edge there. That time he took a chance. He took a step inside the block, and he kind of erred on his attempt to make the tackle, but he caused enough problem for Yates to have to swing wide again, and the pursuing tacklers were able to get him to the ground for a short gain. But yeah, it's nice to watch those edge players, the ones that really, really master it. You know when to take a chance and go inside, and know when to just contain, keep that outside arm free, and force everything inside you.
2nd and 9 from the Montana Tech 48-yard line. Dropping back, looking to throw. Ashudo has time, and the comeback route right at the sticks. Reception by Cleveland. And it looks like the spot is going to be just shy of the marker, doesn't it? 3rd down and less than a yard.
Yeah, got that one inside.
So 3rd and 1 here for the Raiders. Ball at the Montana Tech 39-yard. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. They do get the first down. Ball at the Montana Tech 37. Again, thanks for joining us for Homecoming, brought to us by Nucor.
They're getting our new digital board switched a little late. They'll move the sticks before they change it from 3 to 1.
Yeah, they're pretty, though. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Man in motion here on the near side. Montana Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. Ashudo, Montana Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. Ashudo, the pocket is collapsing. They're going to run screen, and Yates gets himself a yard.
That's so good by Whitcomb out there. They got a blocker on Whitcomb. They had everything they wanted. The screen was set up nice and slowly. They got the ball delivered quickly to Yates. But Whitcomb beat a block, just beat a block. You know, they just they had what you'd call an unqualified blocker on him. He shed that, was able to make the tackle for no gain.
3rd down and 9 here for the Raiders. The Raiders on the season are 49% on 3rd down. Today they're 3 of 4.
This may be 2-down territory. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down, if they hand the ball to Yates or if they try and get it through the air.
Ashudo going to roll out of the pocket right. Yates clears down. He'll get the drop down pass. He gets hammered at the 31, and he'll go no further.
That is a nice hit out there. Gave no ground. See if we can get that number. Look like Whitcomb again.
Boy, Yates has taken some significant shots here in the first 20 minutes of this football game. Yates goes out. We'll see what kind of package we get here. 4th down and 5 for the Raiders. Ball at the Montana Tech 31-yard line.
You got to show press coverage. Now, whether you play it here or not on the edge, you've got to at least show it and get that pre-snap out of that quarterback's head and then defend the underneath stuff. I think it's just too far to handle the ball to Yates here, so I'd expect some kind of play-action soft rollout.
Handoff going to go to the tailback, and he is going to be really close.
They showed me.
As Hidalgo with the carry, and he will move the chain. So Hidalgo will get 1st down yardage, and the Raiders will be looking at 1st and 10 at the Montana Tech 27. And Hidalgo throws his shoe. He pitches his shoe. Ashudo, right side, pass complete, knocked out of bounds at the 21. That's a gain of 6. Hidalgo, before the pre-snap, just took his shoe off and pitched it in the backfield. And now he goes to the sideline, and we'll get Gunnar Yates back into the ball game.
Got to go lace him up.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. As they got up and got set, he just grabbed his right foot, his right shoe, and just threw it about 10 yards behind him. 2nd and 4. They're going to move tight end left. Real heavy formation to the wide side of the field as the ball's on the right hash mark. Yates in the backfield with Ashudo. 4-man pressure coming. They're going to look for the fade into the end zone, and we're going to get a flag.
Well, I don't know about that. Angel Sanchez is in good shape, and he's the lead guy up the field here.
We have
they're gonna get a PI on Angel Sanchez here, but he's in good shape. He's number 1 going down the field here, and his eyes are back.
Thanks, Jason. Let's take a look at this on the Case Construction instant replay here. Oh, there's the shoe. He's pitching the shoe. Jason, do you have the replay on that last one by chance? 2nd down and 5 here for the Raiders. We'll see. All right, here we go. Taking a look down that far sideline.
Okay. There are 2 fouls.
Thanks, guys.
If I don't see the front half of that play, I think Angel Sanchez is the receiver.
I agree.
Number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's it. So both of the flags were against Montana Tech. They take the pass interference. Wow. Again, my thanks to Jason and the crew.
Why is that 15 yards and not half the distance to the goal line?
They were outside the 20, right?
Yeah, but I thought, since 15 does take it more than half the distance to the goal line, it is half the distance to the goal line, but not. God, what do I know?
1st and goal from the 6-yard line here for the Raiders. Handoff goes to Yates. He gets through 1 defender and down to the 3-yard line to bring up 2nd and goal here for the Raiders. Montana Tech leading 14-7. 8:18 left to play here in the first half. Back up to the line of scrimmage quickly are the Raiders. Ashudo out of the shotgun. Yates behind him in the pistol. Yates will get the carry, bounces right. He's into the end zone for the score. The Raiders are within 1. So Yates with his 8th carry of the day, 47 yards on the ground. He now has 2 touchdowns, both of the touchdowns for the Raiders. And the kicking unit will try and tie us up at 14. 8:05 left to play here in this first half. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. It's homecoming for Montana Tech. And the PAT attempt here. Long snap, hold is good, kick is up, and the kick is through. We're tied at 14, 8:05 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference football here on Digger Vision. We have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one. We're back here with homecoming, brought to us by Nucor, Alumni Coliseum, right after this.
It's important for Butte Auto to partner.
Or Digger football here on Digger Vision. It's homecoming brought to us by Nucor. As, boy, a nice drive that time by Southern Oregon once again. As Southern Oregon goes 14 plays, 98 yards, and they get 7 points out of it.
How many minutes was the drive? They ate up a lot of clock.
It was 8:05. Well, let's see here. Hold on. 8:03. 8:03 the length of the drive. So Montana Tech's offense will get another go here. We're tied up 14-all. Blake Thielen is 4 of 7 for 57 yards. Lander Smith, 7 carries for 51. And here comes Levi Torgerson again. He took one 95 yards to the house the last time he touched it. And he'll bring this one out to the 38-yard line. I won't put any pressure on him or anything, but, you know, Levi, as we mentioned, two-sport athlete, plays basketball. He's a guard for Montana Tech. That's what he was brought to the campus for. Here's a replay on our kick return by Levi. As back up to the line of scrimmage we go.
Field position hasn't been a problem.
It has not. So 1st and 10 here for Montana Tech. 1 back, 3 receivers. Looks like we have a new tailback in possibly. That may be Renner back there?
It is.
Handoff going to go to Renner. Renner has daylight. He's across midfield, 45 down to the 43-yard line. Ethan Renner with the carry. Ethan, the senior out of Laurel. He'll get first down yardage and more to the Southern Oregon 41-yard line.
Lander saw enough of that.
Take a look at the hole here created by the right side of that offensive front.
That's him saying, am I going in? No, he's saying, I'm going in.
Nice job, Ethan. Now get back over here. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Montana Tech back in at tailback is Lander Smith. Tight formation, one receiver left, one to the right, tight end on each side. Lander's going to get it. They're going to try and stretch the edge lefts. Nowhere on the outside, and we have a flag come flying in.
And they're going to get Pierce, I think, for a hold there on the edge.
Boy, stretching that edge all the way out like that, it's almost always feel like you get that flag in. 7:22 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference action.
Holding on the offense, number 30. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. First down.
Let me open a scoreboard. We'll see if we can get some other scores here as we make our way through this first half. It's horrible to say. I'm not sure I can even tell you what other games we have going on right now. College of Idaho is in Billings.
Northern's at Carroll.
Yep, and I've got both scores of those. So College of Idaho leading Rocky 21-17 with 6 minutes left in the second. And Carroll leading Northern 10-0 in the second. 1st and 10 here for the Digs. We're tied up 14-all in Butte, Montana. Ball at the Ordiger 49-yard line. Handoff going to go to Lander Smith. No daylight at all. Boy, both these teams are keyed up on the other guy's running team. Hey, just, you look at Yates and Landers. I mean, these guys just having phenomenal years, and both teams prepared heavily for each of those guys.
Ty Glumbick there at inside linebacker. Got his hands on Lander Smith and let him know about it. Slammed him to the ground. But, yeah, both teams have found their footing a little bit after those first series or two, trying to run the football and are starting to be a little more effective on the ground. Maybe not, that wasn't the case in the last play by Montana Tech, but
2nd and 20. They're going to run screen back here on the near side. Lander Smith with the ball. Gets away from one defender down the sideline near the 40-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 11.
Good job. You got more than half of it back. That's what you want there.
They'll be looking at 3rd down and 9 here at the Southern Oregon 40-yard line. So 3rd and 9. As the Digs look to the sideline for the play call here. Substitution in. Logan Kennedy will check in. Parker Johnston out of Helena Capital will check out.
Haven't seen a lot of stunting or anything like that out of this Raider defense. Showing a lot of half field at the snap, and they're generally just walking one safety down. Looks like they'll stay in umbrella here.
Pressure coming from the backside. Pass right side across the 35 to the 33.
You've got to read that if you're Montana Tech. They're stepping those safeties down. That time, Levi Torgerson leaves the line of scrimmage. That safety steps down into the flat. They get Torgerson wide open down the left hash mark there for 6. Not just a big gain. 6 points right here.
Look at there, Levi all the way in the back there.
Yeah, you got to recognize that. If you're upstairs, you got to say, hey, they're showing us half field, but they're stepping one down and we're getting 3 deep. You run the seams against that, you're going to throw for 350 yards.
4th and 5. Montana Tech's offense stays on the field. They look to the sideline, and it looks like we'll get an adjustment. Lander Smith moves to the right hip of Blake Thielen. 3 receivers left. Ball at the 36-yard line. Pressure coming. Thielen airs it up. Left side, it's caught. Levi Torgerson at the 5, out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That was on a dime. He put it right over the shoulder of Levi Torgerson. What a well-thrown football.
That time they walked up, went single high safety and man across the board, and Torgerson just beat his guy in man coverage. Didn't have much on him.
Look at this.
A step and a half. You watch here, but that ball is thrown perfectly, and he airs to the sideline there for Torgerson to be the only guy that can catch the ball.
What a throw. Blake Thielen. Levi slow to get up. He'll come to the sidelines. And that brings up 1st and goal here for the Digs.
Yeah, he'll want to get back on there. Having himself a day, Levi is.
So Levi right now, that's his second catch, 39 yards. He has one kick return for 95 yards and a score. As the Digs looking at first and goal just inside the 4. One receiver each way. Landers Smith in the backfield. Landers will get the rock. He'll put his head down and push to the 2. They'll mark him down just inside the 2. Second and goal. Ordiger football. We're tied up 14 all.
Yeah, and I'd be real surprised if you see this go anywhere but in Landers Smith's belly, off left tackle, off left or right tackle, probably between the tackles. I don't know that against this defense you want to try and run the perimeter unless it's on some kind of a hand fake end around. But I like Landers between the tackles or the guards here.
They'll shift across. Twin tight goes right. Pierce and Logan Kennedy both on the right side. Handoff going to go once again to Landers Smith. He'll push forward. Landers Smith to the goal line. Landers Smith is in for the touchdown. The Ordigers go up 20-14 as Landers pounds it in once again. Landers Smith, 9 carries, 53 yards and a score. So Montana Tech goes up by 6 with 3:50 left to play here in this first half.
And you have to credit Southern Oregon. They're making him work for it. They're making that offensive front work for it. But hats off to Montana Tech. You know, after that first series or two, they've started to get helmet on helmet, starting to get Landers Smith some daylight, and he's running like he's seeing a little daylight.
Third down, or excuse me, rather the kicking unit is in. My apologies. Southern Oregon had one too many guys out, and I don't think they got him off the field. So the kick is good.
There's a flag.
Yep. They had an extra guy on the field, and he did not get off before the snap of the football.
Legal substitution.
So illegal substitution.
Penalties declined. Result
So
of play.
the penalty is declined, and the Digs will go up by 7. 21-14 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Southern Oregon. The Digs have run 21 offensive plays for 178 yards. Southern Oregon 27 offensive plays for 166. Just a gorgeous day here in the mining city. Thankfully, no smoke.
Been a great game so far.
Really has.
Two teams that are almost mirror images of each other, really. You know.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, highlighting a tailback. A lot of single back, tailback action. A lot of play action pass. Some soft rollout out of both teams.
Yeah, this certainly feels like one with a turnover or two really is going to change the texture of this football game. So the Digs, thank you for that. So the Digs will kick off here. Southern Oregon will get another go. Ashudo is 12 of 15 for 92 yards. Yates has 9 carries for 50. What do you think the line is if you're Montana Tech's defense? What is the number you're happy with giving Yates on the ground? Is it, keep him under 100?
Well, that's the goal. You never, as a defense, that's the benchmark, right? But, if you're realistic, it's not so much the total number of yards. You just want to try and keep them the big plays, the big chunk plays. We used to have, certain goals on a weekly basis, both offensively and defensively outside of Coach Green's office there. But it was try to keep teams from having zero or not from having, but having 0 runs for 20-plus yards, 0 passes from 20-plus yards. Points was always like 24.
Yeah.
And
on a kicking team,
that was
30.
a standard. You certainly expect less than that if you were playing somebody that didn't score the ball that well. But, by and large, that's a great question. But teams have goals. Now, whether they float from opponent to opponent or if they're just a standard, that's maybe a different story. But we had a standard.
3:50 left to play here in the first half. Ordigers got offside on the kickoff. So that will bring the ball out to the 30-yard line here for the Raiders. Ashudo has 1 back, 3 receivers. Montana Tech leads by 7. Blitz coming hard. Trying to get to him. Yates gets the edge, 35, and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. He'll pick up 8, if not 9, on the carry.
Well-timed zone there off the right side. That's just inside zone, and Yates chose to bounce it out. I'd be curious to see if he could see Whitcomb coming from the wide side here, and he just knew that there's no cutback available here. I cut back, I'm dead. Just take it play side, or if that's just how the play developed. But if he decides to wind that back there, Wickham runs himself right into it.
2nd down and 2 here for the Raiders. 3 receivers. And the handoff, play action to Yates. They'll swing the pass out. Good first move out across the 40. 1st down yardage with the reception is Jasko, the sophomore out of Oregon. Jasko, his 2nd catch of the day.
You hear me say it a lot that time. And Jaden Downs, you don't have to make the tackle to make the play. He sprints up, takes on a blocker, but he has to turn that thing into his teammates. He does a nice job of coming up, forcing that runner to take that ball inside, and then his teammates get to come up and polish off the tackle. But that's a good play, good discipline, a fundamental defensive play by Jaden Downs.
1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Ball at their 43-yard line, left hash mark. 2 receivers to the wide side, 1 here to the narrow side. Ashudo out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Ashudo airs it up. Pass complete. That's going to be a gain of 3, if not 4, as he hits Jackson Clemmer as tight end once again. These two obviously both seniors, both went to Camas, played together through some years down there.
Clemmer's a tall drink of water, 6'6".
He is. 6'6", 220. 2nd down and 8.
They brought a couple linebackers or safety and linebacker last time. We'll see what they do here on 2nd and long. Looks like they're going to lay back.
2nd and 8 here. Handoff is going to go to the tailback. Yates gets daylight. He's across midfield to the Montana Tech 46-yard line. That's going to be a gain of nearly 10 and move the chains here for the Raiders.
Southern Oregon's found their footing offensively in that offensive front. They're starting to get Yates some daylight between the tackles.
And we've got our 2-minute timeouts. Ladies and gentlemen, Montana Tech leading 21-14. 1:56 left to play in the first half. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor here on Digger Vision. We're back to Alumni right after this.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. 1:56 left to play here in the first half. Southern Oregon with 2 timeouts. They trail by a touchdown. And they're looking at 1st and 10 at the Montana Tech 46-yard line. 2 receivers left. Ashudo out of the shotgun. Montana Tech has 5 on the defensive front. Long snap count here for Ashudo. Ball bobbles. Montana Tech gets on it at midfield.
Good call on the turnovers.
Ashudo really just never hung on to that thing. It goes to the turf, and Montana Tech jumps right on it. Wyatt DeVos.
But, I mean, you mentioned it, just a turnover. That's why I knocked on wood. It might happen to the Raiders and not Montana Tech. But that ball just glances right off of Shudo's hand. And DeVos heads up, eyes up, able to just jump on it. Easy turnover and a huge chance for Montana Tech to go up 2 scores going into the half.
Southern Oregon will start with the football in the second half. The Digs have all of their timeouts. 1:52 left to play here in this first half. And here come the Digs out.
Nice to see Parker Johnston back in the mix the last couple of games. He's fought injuries his whole career here. Now he's back and healthy and getting in the mix.
And in at quarterback is Cade Wyatt. He'll hand off on the sprint sweep. And out across the 40 down to the 38-yard line is Renner.
That's what I like about Renner, too. He's got good balance, stays on his feet, low center of gravity. Got a Montana Tech offensive front guy down here, it looks like.
Love to see that here as you watch the replay as Cade Wyatt in at quarterback running that Wildcat.
You can't tell. I think the first numbers is 6. I don't know if it's Chase Meyer or
So as they work on that young man, 141 left to play here in the first half.
Kobe Marino's got the ability to look like he has pads on without wearing pads.
I think he gets sick of me. Whenever I see him in the hallways at the Hyper, I ask him if he wants me to show him where the weight room is. So they continue to work on one of the offensive linemen here for Montana Tech. Again, the Digs will go on the road next week to Western. They'll take on the Bulldogs. Actually, let's get a score update for you here while the Bulldogs are off this week. The other games, let's see if we can get an update in score here. College of Idaho leading Rocky 28-17 with about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Carroll all over Northern 24-0 as that one close to halftime as well.
I can't see. Is that Chase? Is that a 69? Looks
yes,
like it.
It is.
He's walking off gingerly. That's one of those limps that almost looks like it's recoverable. So we'll see if he's his day's complete or if they can get some work done, maybe a retape, and get him back on the field.
Chase comes over with the trainer. Montana Tech back after it, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Blake Thielen. Handoff is going to go to his tailback. And that one is down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 4 on first down for Lander Smith.
Still in no hurry if you're Montana Tech here. You're loaded with timeouts. You got a buck and a half left, 126. Did they take one there? Maybe they did take one there, but 35-yard line going in, 36-yard line going in. You got all the time in the world.
2nd down and 6. Coach Kyle Sampson is on the field talking to the officials here.
That's why I thought maybe they took a timeout and I don't know why the clock stopped.
Montana Tech.
Yeah, so Montana Tech is getting a timeout here, getting charged for one anyway. Yeah, Coach Sampson was all the way out to the numbers. And the Digs do take a timeout. 126 left to play here in this first half. The Digs with 2 timeouts remaining. They have the ball at the Southern Oregon 36-yard line.
I should have looked a little closer. So this would be a more of a prevent situation if you're the Red Raider defense. Maybe they are hanging with 2 safeties, but I should have looked at that a little sooner. See if they're still walking a safety down from that half-field look. I mean, it is so fun when you're right there. You know, you see a team being prevent look, but they're not necessarily playing prevent. One safety will walk down, you run verticals at it, and you get guys down the hash marks. I mean, quarterbacks never see guys that open.
Yeah.
You know, and then it becomes a pass that's just got to have enough zip on it to get there quick so a corner can't rally or a safety can't rally to that spot, but it's also has to have enough touch on it to clear that underneath coverage. But it's a lot of fun for those quarterbacks and those receivers to get that open.
2nd down and 7 here for the Digs. Ball at the Raider 36-yard line. Smith going to get it again, and a sea of white gets at him. One of the first to make contact that time was Dylan Daniels, a DB out of Kent, Washington.
I think you're two down territory here, too. I think if you're Montana Tech, 35-yard line, you've got 3rd and 6. Smith in the backfield certainly still in the mix here. I'd expect some play action, maybe soft rollout, something to, a tiered single level, next level, and deep level, some kind of rollout here, but we'll see.
Levi Torgerson back in. He's in the slot up top. 3 receivers. Southern Oregon, 4 on the defensive front. Pressure coming. Pass, right side, complete at the 25-yard line. Wyatt Alexander hauls it in. That's a gain of 9, and that'll move the chains for Montana Tech. 44 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Great job by Alexander on the curl route there of making himself presentable to the quarterback. There's not a lot of room there.
No, not much at all, and throws those hands up quickly with the snap, looking for the deep ball right side. Wide open, Wyatt Alexander. No signal yet.
Yep. Back of the end zone.
Back of the end zone. Thank you. I'm like, hello. Wyatt Alexander hauls it in, and Montana Tech goes up 27-14.
Can I give it a Bruce Willis here? Welcome to the party, pal.
That was fantastic, and I was looking at the wrong officials, and neither were raising a hand. I'm like, hello.
Hadn't heard much from Wyatt all game long, and then bang, bang.
Back to
10
back.
yards.
Wyatt Alexander. Big first down catch and then a big touchdown catch. And Montana Tech goes up, try and make it 2 touchdowns here with 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up, and it is through.
How about the drive block? Oh, boy.
Montana Tech leading 28-14. Southern Oregon with 2 timeouts. We'll see what they bring to the plate here. They will get the ball to start the second half as well. Right now, Blake Thielen, 9 of 12 for 139 yards, 2 scores.
He's had a nice half of football, Blake has.
Yeah, he really has.
Doesn't have to throw the ball a whole ton. They've stuck to their plan with a little bit of Renner and a lot of Landers Smith there in the backfield and able to do a lot of what they want to do. It's not like they've stalled a lot. Or did they have 1 punt in the first half? Or did they punt?
No, but they had the interception.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, the 1 interception. Both teams with 1 turnover. Montana Tech with 7 points off of that turnover. And they will kick off here. 28-14.
Need a good cover here. Hopefully he can kick it into the end zone so you don't have to risk a big return here to put their offense in good field position, with a half a minute left here in the first half.
Kicking unit out here for Montana Tech. The Digs have run 26 offensive plays for 227 yards. Feel like that just hasn't updated here. The line drive, this one's going to go sailing 5 yards deep, and Southern will take a knee. So Southern Oregon will take the knee and bring it out. Montana Tech leading 28-14. Thielen is 9 of 12 for 139 yards. As you mentioned, really had a nice first half thus far, and a couple of his passes have been dang near perfect. The slant route to Wyatt and then the deep ball to Levi was absolute picture perfect.
He has that go route to Wyatt. He's got a lot of margin for error there. Wyatt had beat his defender by every bit of 5 yards, but he threw it on the dot. Wyatt had to make a pretty good effort just to keep a foot in bounds there at the back of the end zone. But regardless, it's 6 points and a great momentum builder going into that locker room at halftime.
First down and 10 here for the Raiders. They have time to work. 2 timeouts. 33 seconds remaining. Ball at their 25-yard line. A Shudo handoff to his tailback. And that tells you what their plans are here for the next several seconds. Clock continuing to run.
Nice play up front that time. How do you say Dominic's last name? Umile?
Umile.
Umile? Okay.
Umile.
Sorry about the butcher job there, but a great play nonetheless.
So Umile, second down and 12. They rush up to the line of scrimmage. And they will not snap the ball. You surprised by that? But Southern not?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to the locker room and turn it around and go?
If they don't turn the ball over in the previous series, I would be surprised by this. But, that everybody gets gun shy, including coaches. And you just kind of bear with what was dealt with you in the first half, go into the locker room, talk about a few things, and then come out ready to make a comeback in the second half.
28-14 our score. Montana Tech with the lead. It's homecoming. The Digs over the Raiders here at Alumni Coliseum. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. We'll take a break. We'll talk about that first half, give you numbers and more right after this.
Now's the time to get into Butte Auto and custom build your own ride just the way you want it. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. Frontier Conference football as the Orediggers of Montana Tech leading Southern Oregon 28-14 as we are at the half. Tremendous first half thus far. And we are, we're going to chat here for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Schuyler is with me. Jerry, congratulations. Last night was a whole lot of fun.
I enjoyed it tremendously.
So obviously we had our distinguished alumni. I can't remember. It was the Chancellor's Medallion, correct?
Yeah, Chancellor's Distinguished Alumni Award, something like that. I don't remember the name. It's a big trophy.
Well, I was going to say, it is, and it's a beautiful trophy. My IQ is really low, so I understand why I don't remember it, but you received it and you're quite intelligent, so you should have remembered what it was. I'm just saying. Congratulations. Thanks for what you do for Montana Tech, and certainly deserving.
No, I appreciate it. It's a great school, and it's a great school that not only needs to continue this thing, we need to expand on what this school does.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go here first. I was talking about you earlier, and actually you joined me a couple years ago on the air. 5 brothers and sisters, and all 6 of you have gone through Montana Tech, correct?
That's correct.
And then the other thing that threw me off last night when you started talking about the in-laws and everybody else, you have so many ties to this campus beyond your 5 siblings. It's staggering.
Yeah, I have brother-in-laws, a couple brother-in-laws, Julie's brothers went here. One of my sisters who graduated with a degree here, she also married a petroleum engineer from here.
Okay.
So yeah, there's probably 10 or 12 of us. There's a lot.
Yeah, you've funded a couple of professors, so that's fine. Well, obviously, in your profession, you've been around the world. You've seen a lot of things. You've seen a lot of good. And this campus is very special to you, obviously, and you take that to heart. When you talk about the idea of moving forward with Montana Tech, and what do you envision for the future? In your opinion, what is next for Montana Tech on the horizon that you would love to see?
Well, there's 2 things that I think are very, very special about Montana Tech. And they're addressing things that society needs. One thing that we need, and this is no surprise to anybody, is we need more and more medical professionals. We have an aging population, and we have a tremendous nursing program. So we need to do whatever we can to expand on that nursing program while we maintain the quality of it.
Yep.
You know, they've taken it from nothing. It didn't exist when I was in college. And with Karen Vanderveer and Janet Coe and the nursing department, they have just done a fantastic job of putting together a quality outfit. And so now we need to continue to grow it at a pace that we can maintain the quality.
Yeah.
So that's one side. The other side is, I talked about it last night, but the world needs energy, and the needs of the world continue to grow as to how much energy we need. And Montana Tech is, we've got over 100 years of producing a top-notch engineering talent that basically have focused on responsible production of fossil fuels. And now the key is understanding that society is going to need more and more energy. What we need to do is reduce the amount of that energy that comes from fossil fuels. But we're going to need fossil fuels for the rest of all of our lifetimes in all probability.
Yeah.
So, we need to continue to build on our expertise on responsible production of fossil fuels. And at the same time, we need to integrate it into the renewable energies of today and those renewable energy technologies. And we've put a few things in place to really tee us up to do that. Bob Morris is now the new in an energy chair, which was created by Ryan and Lisa Lance. Mm-hmm. And Bob is a great guy with a good industry background, but also understands, and he's going to be working with the department heads and the dean of engineering to make sure that we're doing as much as we can to integrate those 2 efforts. And we're going to need more and more of it.
Yeah.
I mean, society needs more and more of it.
Yeah.
Montana needs more and more of it.
Yeah.
So, those are the things. That's my long answer to your short question.
No, I think, and it's very prideful in the fact that that's what we do well. I use the nursing program as a hood ornament a lot. That was one of those that even when it was on its ground floor, it was never at ground floor. It was so good right out of the gates. And like you say, with Vanderveer and Co., I would go to war with those two. I mean, those two can start anything, and what they have done with that nursing program and where they have brought it in such a short amount of time is nothing short of astounding.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Well, Jerry, you're the man. Congratulations.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks to Les and Stephanie for everything that they've done. And I really, really appreciate the award.
The award, it's a medallion, but then it comes with a base. And every year they have the welding program out at Highlands. Everybody in the welding program makes one. And then they go in and choose which one is presented. And I love the fact that they brought the kid that made yours to the dinner last night.
No, he did a fantastic job.
It's wonderful.
Well, and the name of the award is the Chancellor's Award of Distinction.
There we go. Celebration. We knew it.
Yeah. All right.
Well, the Chancellor's Award of Distinction, Jerry Schuyler, for 2024. Congratulations.
Thank you, Paul.
We're at the half, ladies and gentlemen. Montana Tech with the lead, 28-14 over Southern Oregon. We'll take a break. We'll come back, get you ready for the second half in just a moment. Welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as the Ore Diggers up 28-14 over Southern Oregon. We had Jerry Schuyler on earlier as we had distinguished alumni recognized last night at the Butte Country Club. And Scott Rosenthal was one of those distinguished alumni.
Thank you, Paul.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
It was. It was really good. Good evening. Sean Ryan put on an excellent show. And
yeah.
Great fellow recognees. I guess you call that.
I was getting and there was almost a couple moments where you had almost some emotion.
I had a lot of them.
I give you a hard time. I love, and we were lucky enough. When we walked in, we were looking, for seats, and we were in the bar for most of the evening, and we ended up with the mining kids, the mining team, and we had so much fun, and the idea of having them there, there isn't anywhere in the world they would rather be than to celebrate you and what you and Sonia do for them, what you do for this campus, what you do for the world. What you mean to that mining team and the department is beyond words.
Yeah. It was a good selection. I wish I could have brought more of them, but yeah, they showed up and they were dressed to the nines, as they say.
They were. They were very much so. Yeah. So when you, who told you that when was the first word you heard that you were distinguished alumni?
It was at the Montana Mining Association, and your lovely wife, Shannon, pulled me aside and said, "Oh, by the way."
What? I mean, you're a guy, obviously, if people haven't figured it out quite yet, you're a man of few words. In case that memo was missed somewhere in passing, what does something like this mean to you? Because obviously this is something you would never chase after. To put it bluntly, this is something you wouldn't have cared about until it happened. So what does it mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, we do what we do because we love it. We're not chasing a medal or something.
Yeah.
So to be recognized is just such a great honor. I'm humbled. It's great. It helps bring a little spotlight to the mining program, to Montana Tech, and we love it.
What does it make it feel any more special that Sunshine Trophy is just a little bit that way?
That too. Yeah, yeah. Especially since I was on a team that won that trophy a long time ago, and to have it back in Butte, and hopefully we'll take it to England and bring it home again.
Well, I was just going to say, we might as well plug that a little bit. Let's talk. England is the next stop. If people missed, we had the mining games here on campus this past year. I mean, it feels like forever ago in March. We're in England this year.
We're in Cornwall, Southwest England, March 19th to 22nd.
Okay. Defending the trophy.
Defending the trophy. We're hoping to take at least 4 teams, 2 men's, a women's, and a co-ed, possibly 5 if we can get a second women's team.
Okay. Well, good. If people want to help get you to England, how can they do so?
They can contact the foundation. They can contact me. All the help is great to get us there. Oh, yes.
Yeah, when is the mining banquet?
Good point.
Your PR director is working here.
November 8th at the Depot here in Butte, which is a Friday night. We're going to have the mining team banquet. So we have a live auction, silent auction, probably a few games, a good evening of catching up with all the alumni. We'll have our industry advisory board here that day as well.
Okay.
So,
Scott Rosenthal, congratulations.
Thank you, Paul.
And I was told to tell you you're not retiring.
Damn it.
Scott Rosenthal, ladies and gentlemen, again, part of what was a great night last night with the distinguished alumni here at Montana Tech. 28-14 our score. The Digs up over Southern Oregon. We'll take a break. We're back here at the half right after this. Hey, again, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as Frontier Conference football. My thanks to Jerry Schuyler as we had the alumni event last night as Jerry Schuyler received Montana Tech's Chancellor Award of Distinction. That award was established in 2021. He follows in the footsteps of guys like Bob Green, who won it last year. So congratulations to Jerry. He's done an incredible amount for the school. And then, of course, my man Scott Rosenthal, leading the mining department here at Montana Tech, was a distinguished alumni. And I believe he said about 4 words as I just talked to him for about 7 minutes. Love that dude. Love him.
I wasn't able to tune you in, so I'll have to listen on the rebroadcast.
Let's talk about the first half. We'll do numbers here in a moment, but give me your take of the first 30 minutes of football, Haskey.
Well, I think after maybe a slightly, and I shouldn't say a slow start, Montana Tech had played I'm not going to say flawless game of football offensively in the first half. They've played good. They've been very efficient. They got their feet in the ground and started running the ball pretty well with Lander Smith, and I think that obviously opened up some of the stuff you wanted to maybe start throwing Wyatt Alexander's way. But I don't think they did anything real secretive, or they haven't really showed anything that they haven't showed on tape. But the thing that gets lost on Montana Tech is they're capable of throwing the ball. They're certainly capable of catching and running with the ball. And you combine that with that running attack and how good they're playing up front. Tight end play. Tight ends have been significant in this game so far. But you just have to remember defensively, they're always going to try you vertically with Wyatt Alexander. They got him late in the first half, right? He'll hook up and catch a ball on second and third and long. They were able to do that. And the same thing goes with Levi Torgerson. So, yeah, I mean, just the limited opportunities for both offenses, really, in the first half. Both teams sustained drives, 8 clock.
Yeah.
And so you have to be really efficient if you're either team's offense. And defensively, we kind of talked about it, on what they wanted to do on offense. Southern Oregon was slow getting Yates started, but eventually he started kind of spreading his wings a little bit. They were able to run the ball and mix up what they wanted to do, throwing the ball. Real controlled passing game by Southern. A lot of stop routes and out routes to the outside stuff. Not a lot of stuff between the hash marks against this Montana Tech defense. But, yeah, you just to summarize everything for both offenses, I think you have to be patient and you have to be really efficient. You don't want to turn the ball over because the opportunities aren't there a lot. It's not quick strike offenses. You give the ball over to the other team's offense, your offense is going to be on the sideline for 6 to 8 minutes.
Well, let's run you through the numbers as of right now. Montana Tech has run 26 offensive plays for 227 yards. And individually for the Digs, Blake Thielen is 9 of 12 for 139 yards. He has 1 interception, and he has thrown 2 touchdown passes on the day today for Blake Thielen. Great first half for him. On the ground, Lander Smith, 12 carries for 59 yards and 1 score. Ethan Renner has 2 carries for 30 yards on the day. You'll take a 15-yard average any day of the week.
You bet. And we talked about that, before the ball was even kicked off. It's important to get a second head or a third head in there in that backfield. They may see the wind back or the play side a little differently, and it's going to force that offense to see, or that defense to tackle it differently, right? And I think you saw Renner's success, a dividend of what Lander Smith has produced here in the first half, and I think it's paramount to get other set of eyes in that backfield. I think it's really helpful.
Receiving for Montana Tech, Logan Kennedy, 4 catches for 54 yards and a score. Levi Torgerson, 2 catches for 39 yards. Remember, he had a 95-yard kick return for a score as well. Wyatt Alexander, 2 catches for 35 yards and a score. And Lander Smith, 1 catch for 11 yards through the air. On the other side for Southern Oregon, they've run 33 offensive plays for 183 yards. Ashudo is 14 of 17 for 99 yards as of right now. No interceptions, no touchdowns. On the ground, Yates has 12 carries for 67 yards and 2 scores. Both of the touchdowns for Southern have been packed in by Yates. Hidalgo has 3 carries for 24 yards. I thought he's carried the ball real well. Receiving-wise for Southern, 4 catches for Yates, 41 yards for him out of the backfield. Cleveland has 3 catches for 22, Jasko 2 for 14, and Kleemer has 3 catches for 11 for Southern Oregon. Let's see here. Southern Oregon was 3 of 5 on third down. Montana Tech was 2 of 5. And let's see what else is of note here. Again, 1 turnover on each side. Montana Tech threw the interception that, like you talked about, basically a punt. And, of course, the fumble that Montana Tech turned into a score. So the kickoff goes through the back of the end zone. And we're underway here in the second half. Thanks for joining us on Digger Vision Homecoming, brought to us by Nucor.
And getting back to the last question you asked me before that first half ended, does this surprise you offensively with those just going to the locker room down two scores? If I would have thought the way they were thinking, they knew they were getting the ball coming out here in the second half. They just probably wanted to wait for that opportunity, not risk a turnover. I think if they know they're kicking off going into the second half, they might have taken a shot downfield or something and tried to get some kind of points on the board.
So here comes Southern now to Shudo. Again, he's 14 of 17 for 99 yards. Tight end left, 3 receivers. Montana Tech brings 5 up to the defensive front. Shudo looks at the armband for the play call. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Yates has daylight. Yates cuts back at the 35. He's across the 40, 45 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 22 for Yates. And it sounds like Tech pleading their case that they thought that ball came out. Linesman on this side saying it was down.
That's one change you see Montana Tech. Now, granted, they had a tight end and a wing to this side, but Montana Tech reduced down to an odd front. They covered the center with a nose and walked up an outside backer and showed a 5-man surface. You know, and a lot of times, you know, that people, you know, if you cover them all, they'll call that a bear front, right? I don't know that they covered them all there, but it certainly was a 5-man surface. Some people like to do that to take on a heavy running attack. I still like the layers off a 3-man surface. I like guys coming from 2 or 3 yards deep, but that's one adjustment I've seen.
1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Stepping up in the pocket, Shudo able to get rid of it, has a man downfield across the 30 and out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Good pitch and catch that time as Clemmer gets the reception. Shudo stepped up in the pocket. Both edges collapsed on him, and he really held his column and delivered a nice ball downfield.
Big 6'6" tight end. Easy guy to find there as you roll into the pocket, out of the pocket, step up, and look downfield. That 6'6" helmet's pretty easy to find. And Clemmer answers the call, catches the ball, and moves the sticks.
1st down and 10 here for the Raiders. Ball at the 28-yard line of Montana Tech. Good opening drive here for the Raiders. They trail by 2 scores. They're going to bring 2 guys in the backfield, a fullback and tailback is Yates on the left side of Shudo. Play action. Shudo wants to throw. Double team down the center, overthrown, incomplete.
Yeah, he spun his receiver around there. This receiver wanted it over his right shoulder. I think Shudo tried to throw him open, getting it over his left shoulder, had to do a speed turn. Ball was overthrown, but a good idea. I mean, on 1st down, keep them honest. Let them know that you're going to try and maybe stretch or take the lid off the top of that defense because they really haven't tried that thus far today.
You were talking about Dion Williams. He's down here on the sideline currently.
He still looks like he could play.
Oh, I agree. One of the more electric ore diggers in my time calling games.
You could find a football in a hurricane. That guy was an unbelievable ball hawk as an offensive player.
2nd and 10, blitz coming. Hand off to Yates. He gets through the 1st level into the, boy, it looked like he had daylight. He gets chopped down at the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 9. Boy, he got through that 1st, and I thought he was off to the races.
It's a scary situation. You know, to me, if I'm looking at this, I look at Montana Tech defensively. I'm seeing a team that knows what the offense is going to do, but they're having trouble stopping it. That's always a scary situation to be in.
3rd down and 1 here for the Raiders. Again, they were 3 of 5 on 3rd down in the 1st half, and you'd have to assume they're in 2-down territory here. Fullback lefts, Yates in the pistol behind the quarterback. Montana Tech coming hard. Yates gets the handoff, pushes forward, gets a gap. He's inside the 10. He's going to stroll in for the touchdown. So Yates gets in. That's his 3rd touchdown today. It is 14th of the year, and the Raiders are within 8.
Yeah, a lot of heads at the line of scrimmage, knowing that Yates is going to get the ball, but how often do you see it? Good wind back by Yates at the line of scrimmage. That ball starts off tackle right. He cuts it back. And once you clear that line of scrimmage, everybody's gone. You know, you're by all those helmets. All you have to do is just win a foot race to the goal line, and Yates isn't going to lose many of them.
Kicking unit in for the PAT here. 28-20, Montana Tech with the lead. Southern Oregon, a nice drive to get into the end zone. 5 plays, 75 yards. Snap and hold are good. Montana Tech gets pressure, but the kick is good. 28-21 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Southern Oregon. Frontier Conference football here on a Saturday afternoon. Montana Tech's offense will get the ball here. Let's see if we can get some scores of those other games here. Again, Western is off this week. College of Idaho, as it goes into the start of the 3rd, College of Idaho leading Rocky 35-24. That one is in Billings. And Carroll all over Northern 30-0 at home. Both of those a little bit behind us, but not by much.
Yeah, and you go back to Carroll, other than Montana Tech, they've seen, you know, just record-wise and everything, they've seen what the lighter side of this conference has to offer thus far, and including today. And then they're going to have to run the gauntlet here coming up. You know, they're going to see Montana Tech again. They're going to see College Idaho. They're going to see Western. You know, so their season's really going to get tough.
Yeah. Gosh, and I'm trying to think. I think C of I might be there, but otherwise, I think they're at Dillon. You know, they're obviously here. You know, they have some games ahead of them. So Southern will kick off here again. Well, really nice drive that time by the Raiders. Deep kick. And Levi Torgerson will field it, go into the end zone, and they'll start it off offensively at the 25-yard line. So the Digs will get things rolling here from their end zone. Montana Tech, 26 offensive plays, 227 yards. Thielen is thrown for $139 and a pair of scores. And the Digs will start at their 25.
You've got to pick up offensively where you left off. You know, a team that was really efficient offensively in the first half, you got to pick it up, because that Red Raider offense has shown no signs of really slowing down. You know, they got in their own way. They had that turnover. But other than that, they've been able to move the football and score today.
So out of the shotgun, Thielen, man in motion is Logan Kennedy. Thielen, play action. He's going to drop it off to Logan. Kennedy spins at the 30. He's down to the 33-yard line, a gain of 6, nearly 7.
Good little chunk on first down, little play action. Logan Kennedy popping the end and then springing into his flat route, and Thielen getting a good hand fake in the backfield and getting rid of the ball quick for Logan Kennedy to not only catch the ball, but to be able to turn and make a move.
Only one punt in that first half. Southern had one kick, and that was it. 2nd down and 4 here for the Digs. Thielen puts Kennedy in motion again, split backs. Handoff is going to go to Smith. He dives across. He'll pick up 2. Not much there, as a whole lot of white jerseys at the bottom of that pile.
Including cornerback. Once again, that time, Dylan Daniels getting in there from the dead T side here, getting in there, mixing it up, getting a piece of Logan Kennedy's, or not Logan Kennedy, but Lander Smith's legs, and he's chopping him down. He knows he can't go anywhere without that lower half, and he's getting into Smith's legs when he gets his helmet in there.
Iona Purcell was at the bottom down there. He came charging in and got in the way early. 3rd down and 2 here for now they look to the sideline for the play call. 10:40 left to play here in the 3rd. Montana Tech up by a touchdown. Here comes the blitz. Thielen stands, delivers right side. He has Wyatt Alexander. Wyatt down to the 30-yard line. The ball is stripped out, incomplete. Nice job in coverage that time. Wyatt got that catch, and as they were falling, he was able to strip it away from it, looked like.
He's got to recognize that coverage. He had, once again, Levi Torgerson running down the hash mark, wide open.
Wyatt makes that catch and then stripped out of his hands. Our Case Construction instant replay, 2nd and 10 here for the Digs.
When you go 3 deep coverage, the only 2 guys that are recognizing a vertical release and kind of manning up are the 2 corners. Now, the safety that drops to the middle, he's got a center field, 2 guys going vertical at him, and you can get big gains.
I'll swing it out here to Levi Torgerson. Torgerson leans out across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Bring up 3rd and 5 here for the Digs at their own 40. Levi Torgerson, that is his 3rd catch of the day. Leading receiver right now is Logan Kennedy with 6 catches, 62 yards and a score. Just to knock it away. If he'd have squared his body up, he probably picks that thing off as he dives in front of the receiver.
Yeah, he has a good chance to house call that interception, no doubt.
4th and 5 here for Montana Tech. And the punting unit is out. First team All-American Andrew Olmos.
Arguably the biggest play of the season was a fake punt out of this Montana Tech special teams. I don't know if now is the time to run it because you've shown it on tape, but when you think now's not the time is the best time to run it, right?
3rd down, or 4th and 5, and the kick is away. Fielded at the 12-yard line, going backwards down to the 7-yard line. Return going right and hauled down at the 7-yard line. Great job that time by the Bullets, as the return man has nowhere to go.
Immediate timeout.
And the Digs make a big special team play.
Christian Vetter, I believe.
Looks that way.
Running back, good play. A good job up there that time. It looked like Jaden Downs maybe was the contained guy on that punt cover. And a good job of not letting that return man see the edge there. He corralled it, forced him up, and then Vetter's able to come in and clean up the tackle.
Actually, other Butte High product, it was Christians. It was for Montana Tech, excuse me, Christian Hansen.
Oh, gotcha.
So Christian Hansen, who just transferred in this year. And we have a timeout on the field. 9:31 left to play here in this third quarter. Montana Tech leading 28-21. We'll see what they do with it here. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. We're back on Digger Vision after this.
Dude, Hudson, your new man cave is sweet.
Come watch the game.
Dude, they're gonna score.
Man cave, lady lounges, whatever you call them, Steele's Furniture has exactly what you need to make your room come to life. Shop our Man Cave showroom today for ideas to upgrade your bar set, fireplace, TV, recliner, furniture set, and refrigerator. Steele's Furniture, making man caves happen for 87 years.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
We're back here once again as Southern Oregon's offense will get things rolling here. Ball at their 8-yard line. Ashudo, handoff to Yates. Yates hits the scrum, spins out of it. He's across the 10 out to the 11-yard line. During the break, we had a very special birthday. Dennis Zander's birthday, ladies and gentlemen.
I could only guess. I might have guessed 56 or 57. Old Dennis.
I wonder if he's out of the tailgate still. I thought his seats were down here below us, but Dennis Zander, who does so much for Montana Tech in every respect, celebrating a birthday today. Congratulations. Wonder if he's going to buy us cake. 2nd down and 6. Ashudo trips receivers right. Montana Tech creeping up. Blitz is coming. They're going to run screen out on the edge. What a play at corner. My goodness.
That's probably Downs. He's been playing the wide side. Oh, no, that was Wickham.
Yep.
Wickham. And we've seen him the last 2 years do that a lot, right?
Yeah.
He's taken and beaten blockers and still made tackles. Just a full-service guy out there in the pocket. Yeah, he does a nice job of staying on his feet, outside arm free, everything we always talk about. But he makes the tackle more often than he doesn't.
Absolutely blew that up. 3rd down and 8 here for the Raiders. They're 4 of 6 on 3rd down today. One receiver wide each way.
Now they'll have 2 backs.
And they're going to call a timeout. Boy, Ashudo didn't like that at all. They got to the line of scrimmage.
First charge line.
And he wasted no time. He called a quick timeout. 8:02 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. So a big 3rd down here for the Raiders. Hopefully everything going well for you on a Saturday afternoon.
Now, they lined up there with 2 backs in the backfield, so that would tell them, or tell me defensively, that they're expecting pressure. Some kind of pressure package out of Montana Tech, knowing they can get max pass protection in the backfield and give someone, 2.5 seconds chance to get open versus man coverage. So what would that tell me as a defensive coordinator? I think I'd hang my hat on the bluff. I think I'd walk guys up, show a little pressure, and then maybe back off right before the snap, maybe drop 7 or 8 into coverage and see if you can't get Ashudo a little uncomfortable.
3rd down and 8. All right. Up to the line of scrimmage we come. Crowd getting loud here.
Now they got 1 back in the backfield. They changed their set. Now they're motioning to 2 tight.
Yep, twin tight, 1 on each side. 1 receiver wide each way. Ashudo with a long snap count. Here comes pressure. Ashudo play action, looking downfield. Comeback route, well defended, and that's going to be incomplete.
They're going to get the flag, and it's late. And it's
wow.
late. Sanchez is in good shape there. He's in really good shape. He's on top of the route.
This. Thanks, Jason. Take a look at the replay here. Our Case Construction instant replay. Okay. So the
Pass
officials
interference. Number 0 on the defense. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Pass interference is the call. So a fresh set of downs via the penalty for Southern Oregon.
I thought anything inside 15 yards in college football, it was a point. It was at the point of the foul, no more than 15 yards.
And that might have been the case. They might have given it to him.
They gave him 15.
Did they give him 15?
Yes.
Okay. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. They get themselves a fresh set of downs, one receiver each way. Montana Tech showing pressure. Yates going to swing it out right side. Pass complete across the 30 to the 31.
Out.
Ball comes out, and they're going to say it's down. Linesman on this side says that ball is down. As Barthel caught that. Picked up 7.
Might be able to see that one on replay.
28-21 our score. Clock ticking here in this third quarter.
The only reason I see that ball maybe go out, I thought that the ball catcher went over the defender, so I don't know at what point he's down here.
He's not down yet. That looks like that ball's out. Ashudo, one back, tight end's going to go right. Now he comes back here to the near side. Play action, Ashudo looking to throw. Deep ball down the right side, has a man across midfield, and he is down to the Montana Tech 43-yard line. Good pitch and catch that time. Coming down with it is Wickman once again.
Shouldn't get that pass in there. You just got to get a better drop out of your corner. They clouded corner that time. It was Jaden Downs. And with a safety bracketed over the top of him. That's supposed to be a near impossible completion against that coverage.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage come the Raiders. 1st and 10 at the Montana Tech 44. In trouble. And we're going to get a flag down. Pass is going to be caught at the 30-yard line. A big hit delivered. But I think this is holding coming back. Sawyer Cleveland with the reception. He signals first down, but a flag way back.
Tech brought a little pressure that time. Able
Holding
to get
on the offense.
Ashudo a little more uncomfortable back there. He still threw him, he still stood up, threw the ball, and delivered it.
Only the second penalty on Southern Oregon here today. As, boy, watch that pocket collapse. Ashudo does a great job stepping up and getting rid of this football. But the hold will bring it back. 1st down and long. Again, our Case Construction instant replay. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon.
You got to defend Yates here. Gunnar Yates certainly in the picture here on 1st down.
Crowd continuing to get loud here at Bob Green. In motion is Barthel. Wanting to throw. Diving across the front. That one's tipped out and incomplete. Angel Sanchez on the coverage that time as they were looking for Cleveland. That'll bring up 2nd down and 20 here for the Raiders.
Yeah, once again, Angel's in really good position. He does a nice job. When he's forced into man coverage, he does a really nice job of staying on the correct shoulder of his opponent, reaching across with the correct arm. He does a really good job technique-wise. He's as technically sound as anybody I've seen here at the cornerback position.
2nd and 20 here for the Raiders. Press coming. Handoff is going to go to Yates. He gets tripped up at midfield. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 15, maybe even 16 here for the Raiders. Ball right on midfield.
Good quick read that time by Gonzer, coming up from a half-field safety in the hole there, getting into Yates' legs and flipping him up. Looked like Peyton might have banged up a shoulder, and I'm not so sure he didn't originally bang it up on the completion that got called back on the holding call. He put a hard hit on the receiver there, and it looked like he might have got a little bit of a stinger.
3rd and 16 here for the Raiders. 3rd down. Our Red Line Sports 3rd down up to the line of scrimmage. 4 receivers, 1 back. Hidalgo is in the backfield this time. Ball right at midfield. Ashudo, they're going to run screen here on the near side to Hidalgo. And he'll get hauled down at the 44-yard line. What a play here on the sideline As making the play for Montana Tech is going to be Trey Yates. The big D lineman chased him all the way across the field and got a handful of jersey.
That's not just great hustle. That's a D front guy understanding angles, adjusting his angle, moving upfield a little bit, and just not allowing Hidalgo to get his shoulders turned vertical.
What a play by Trey Yates. So that'll bring up 4th and 9. And the punting unit comes in for Southern. They trail by a score. 4:45 left to play here in the third. They come out in the shield. Montana Tech, 2 return men. Kick is away, and it's going to go into the end zone.
Big break.
Yep, several yards into the end zone. So Montana Tech will bring it out to the 25-yard line, and their offense will take over once again.
Turns it into a sub-20-yard net punt. Good job on the return.
We've got a timeout.
The fake return.
Yeah. Timeout on the field. 4:30 left to play here in the third. Montana Tech leading 28-21 over Southern Oregon. Frontier Conference football. It's homecoming for the Digs, brought to us by Nucor. We're back right after this.
It's important for Butte Auto to partner with community partners such as Montana Tech Athletics because of the commonalities of goals that
Junior,
Portland, Oregon. Gladstone High School, 2nd down and 7. 2 receivers on each side here for the Digs. Southern brings 4 up. Man in motion. Play action, rolling right. He's going to drop it off underneath, and hauling in the pass is going to be Levi. So Levi Torgerson hauls it in, short gain.
Especially on 2nd down here, you're getting a lot of just 3 deep zone coverage. That's a good chance to sting one right down the hash mark.
3rd down and 5 here for the Digs.
And the beauty of that play is you only need just under 2 seconds. 1 3/4, 2 seconds, just to clear that underneath coverage, and then you've just got nothing but green grass in front of you as a receiver. All you just need is, there's a lot of error you can have on the throw as well.
3rd and 5. Man in motion. Fakes the pitch. Now they go shovel on the interior. Diving forward is Levi Torgerson.
I think he's going to be, this official had him close. The one up top is going to be 4th and short.
Yep. Under a yard. Take a look at this. This is a well-developed play. Gets the shovel pass up into Levi, and that's a heck of a defensive play, boy. Sneaking in and getting him at the ankles. So that's going to bring up 4th down here for the Digs. Coach pleading his case as far as the spot of the ball.
And he might be trying to get a measurement as well, because where they have that ball spotted right now is, I think it's worthy of a measurement.
I do too.
Not to burn a timeout. He doesn't want to burn a timeout here, but he should be granted a measurement even on an engineered field.
2:26 left to play here in this third quarter. Montana Tech leading 28-21.
And Montana Tech, full disclosure here, they get a really good spot here. I think that ball spotted at least 2 feet further than where Torgerson came down with the ball.
So the chain gang makes their way out. They'll stretch the chains. They've got it. 1st down, Montana Tech. Boy, from the original spot, it did not look like they were going to get that.
Yeah, we got to see the replay once, and it looked like that ball was down just in front of the 49-yard line, and that, obviously, the 2 feet of difference there makes a difference, because it looked like they got it from the stripe to the nose of the football there, whatever that is, 2 inches.
So that brings up a fresh set of downs here for the Digs. 1st and 10 at the Southern 48-yard line.
I told you, it's a game of inches, not yards.
1 back. There are so many jokes. They're going to swing it out here on the near side. Lander Smith. Smith turns it inside. He's across the 40. Still on his feet at the 30. Lander Smith cuts back again. 15 down to the 10. Landers to the 3-yard line. Lander Smith goes 45 yards and is hauled down at the 3-yard line.
Can I say it again?
Please
the guy knows how to see daylight.
Boy, he does.
Couple great cutbacks. Yes, couple great. This ball swung to the right. He's inside the numbers on the right. Cutback once. Runs through a tackle.
Keeps his balance somehow. Good footwork to get out. Great blocking downfield by Torgerson in front of him. So 1st and 10 here for the Digs. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. In motion, twin tight right. Landers in the backfield. You'd have to imagine he'll get it. He does so. And not much there. He'll get a yard, maybe a little more, down to the 2-yard line.
Was that Smith again? I had my head turned.
Yeah, it was. 14th carry, 63 yards on the day. Actually, they don't have Landers' numbers updated yet. That'll put him over 100.
You know, there's a couple ways to look at that. You know, that run there to me looked tired, right? And he should be tired. I mean, after that big effort on that previous play, wouldn't have been a bad chance to sub him out for a play.
But 2nd and goal from the 2.
But then that's your number 1 guy. You want him at the goal line.
Landers gets the carry again, right side. Good block. Landers Smith into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana Tech. 34-21 as the Digs get into the end zone. Landers Smith rushing touchdown number 2 today. And the Digs stretch their lead out. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country. Southern Oregon, number 7 in the country. Kicking unit is in for the PAT. Under a minute left to play here in the 3rd. So awaiting the snap here on the kick. A little low, they dig it out. Kick is up, and the kick is through. 14-point lead here for the Digs. 35-21 up over Southern Oregon. Frontier Conference football on a Saturday afternoon. We're on Digger Vision. As always, thanks for joining us here.
Look at the size of that guy. Smith, I mean, I just can't imagine meeting that guy in the hole.
So as we make our way back here, still waiting for the stats to be fully updated here for Landers' run. Diggs leading by 2 scores, 35-21.
You got to give a big shout out to his teammates on that play too. There were helmets and bodies moving downfield, trying to pick somebody off as he was cutting back. Guys were staying on their feet, getting just a piece of a defensive back, allowing him to stay on his feet, allowing him to cross the field, and allowing him to almost score.
Yeah, none of them sat and watched. They all were getting downfield, getting in front of him, and helping him if able.
I've watched him enough today. If I was out there, I said, go get him, Landers. I'm tired.
I'd have been 40 yards back waving.
Yeah.
So the kicking unit is in here. The Digs up by 2 touchdowns. 35-21 our score. 59 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. As the kick is away. 3 yards deep. Return is coming out across the 5. Cutting to the right up 10-yard line and not going to make it there. Ball is out. Ball is out. It looks like Montana Tech, they're going to say down. The Digs pleading their case. Boy, a heck of a hit at the 8-yard line, and it looks as though Southern will hold on to the football at their 8.
I'll tell you,
let's
there's
take a look at this.
Yes, there's a lot of surprised people there, so let's take a peek.
So the kickoff, couple yards deep, does not hesitate. He brings it out of the end zone. Watch, you'll see a monster come in right here. Boy, that ball was out. Again, tremendous job in the booth. Jason Barrett, Tony. Crew is working well. Uh-oh. Other than Haskett's glasses are tied up with his headphones.
The runner was down prior
Looks
to
like
the
we're going to get a stoppage here.
Has challenged that, saying the ball was out.
No, we got 50. Is there a possibility they're going to the 10?
Under review.
Yep, they're going to the review. We're going to get a review. And I think it's worth a review. I wish they had our cameras. So they don't. They have normal, like here you go. Take a look at the replay again. This is a good angle on it on this edge. As that football on the ground, it's a much closer angle, but you don't really see where that ball comes out from that angle. But so as far as the replay officials go, they do not have access to our cameras. They use basically your normal, like any kind of coaches, if you've seen sideline and top. So there's a camera on top of the building that they look at, and there's a camera up in the Gallus frame that they use.
And there's no camera on this end zone, correct?
No. Nope.
There's nobody up on the fence line or anything like that.
Yep. Like I say, it's very similar. It's basically the same film you get like game film. You know, you get one end zone and one sideline. They'll take a look at it. You know, no zoom on it either, so that will certainly affect things. So they are looking at it in the review. The replay.
Coach Thatcher down there asking them to show it for all the fans. Here we go again.
Tech coaching staff pleading their case.
Boy, Hidalgo got worked over after he went down there, too. It looked like he was going to get tied up and the old rodeo breakaway roping.
.51 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. As they continue to look in the tent. Again, they have two views. Hey, Barrett, if you can hear me, give me just like the our normal wide cam on top, will you? So if that's, I assume that's it. That's basically the view from the sideline. If the official is looking at the screen from the sideline, this is what they would have. And then imagine this kind of a view, the same height above the field behind the end zone. So here's a look at the replay again. Maybe the officials should just come out and watch. And they do overturn it. They overturn it. That's Ordinger football.
I think that's 33 that comes in and upends. Yeah, that's J.R. Seawald who comes in and upends Hidalgo. And he gets under his pads. He gets under his knees and under his hips and flips him over. And I think at that point, you know, it's Hidalgo's head and arms going down. I think that's where that ball comes out.
Cut bank, Montana, tremendous play. First and goal, Montana Tech. They're in the Case IH red zone. So the offense back out. A good choice to look at that review.
And they are heavy. Fullback in the backfield. Or excuse me, not Thielen. They're heavy, too tight.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me, this isn't tight. This is Nick Michelotti down here. But, yeah, they're heavy nonetheless.
Thielen out of the shotgun, man in motion across the front. They fake the handoff to him. Lander Smith down to the 5, a gain of 3, nearly 4.
A lot going in there for an inside, or on there for an inside handoff. But trying to get a couple helmets popping up on the end around fake to Levi Torgerson. A play we have seen them run near the goal line.
Clock running here, 26 seconds remaining in the quarter. Second and goal from the 6.
Now they're going to spread them out, and they'll run one defender out here. They're going to need at least 2. They got 3 receivers out here.
Out of the shotgun, Thielen puts tight end in motion lefts.
This is Wyant.
Oh, it's Wyant. There you go. Out of the Wildcat, thank you. Wyant dives down to the 3-yard line. So Wyant, Cade Wyant.
They had Thielen out here in the bunch set to the wide side of the field.
And we're going to go to the fourth quarter with a 14-point lead for Montana Tech. They'll look to add to that lead as they are down inside the Case IH red zone. Thanks for joining us here, Digger Vision. Montana Tech up 35-21 on Homecoming. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. Your fourth quarter is up right after this.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Back out on the field here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Montana Tech leading 35-21. The Digs with a chance to add to their points here. So once again, down at the 4-yard line, 3rd and goal from the 4 in the Case IH red zone. As taking some time in the huddle here.
They haven't even started the play clock yet.
The red hat is off the field. Now it looks like we're ready to roll. So the play clock underway. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Digs. Thielen back in at quarterback. Trips receivers left. Now they're going to run twin tight right. Landers Smith in the backfield. Landers fakes Thielen in trouble, rolling to his right. He gets a block. Thielen going to try and make it to the pylon. Thielen turns it upfield. Touchdown, Blake Thielen. Tremendous blocking out in front.
Two great efforts there, picking off the only 2 people on the field that could have tackled Blake Thielen, and they both get picked off by great effort in the secondary portion of that play.
Take a look at this. These are helmet sticker plays. Watch this. So as Blake Thielen turns, he sees that he has to go the other way. Here comes the first. Splat. Thielen keeps going and then cut back. There's the second, and Thielen has daylight to the pylon. That is outstanding. 41-21. Montana Tech with the lead. Kicking unit is in. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. 10 seconds into the fourth quarter, Montana Tech put another score on the board. The Digs out in front, 42-21 over Montana Tech as we get this fourth quarter. Take a look at the replay here. Thielen from the end zone. Gives you a good idea what it's like to be down there.
That's that same play. Now, granted, it was Nick Michelotti in here to the dead T side and not Logan Kennedy that ran in the first half. They had a bunch set. They shifted heavy to a bunch on the other side and ran play action to Kennedy's side, and they had him wide open. It was the same action, same shift, everything. They wanted to try and get Michelotti at the goal line that time, but Southern Oregon defended it differently, and Thielen didn't have anything to throw. He looked there, and he looked secondary real quick and said, I better get on my horse.
Montana Tech doubling up Southern Oregon right now, 42-21 our score. As lining up for the kickoff here. So Montana Tech put another score on the board after the fumble on the kickoff. Low line drive, bounces at the 5, fielded a yard deep, return coming out to the right side across the 15 and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. As with the return is Lamar. So here come the Raiders out, trailing by 3 touchdowns entering the fourth quarter.
Tech's kick cover team has been outstanding today. As many returns as we've probably seen in a game, by and large.
Truly.
They've returned a bunch of them, and I don't believe they've been past the 20-yard line, maybe once. And Montana Tech's covered that thing inside the 10 twice.
So out come the Raiders offensively. Ashudo, 19-24 for 161 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He has not been sacked.
Now Yates isn't even on the field.
Yep, he goes into the back. Handoff. He originally was lined up out on the wing. He'll push the pile across the 20 to the 21. He was originally lined up wide right.
Oh, there we go.
Gosh, they'll give him 3, maybe even close to 4. Entering the fourth quarter here.
Where's he at on the day, roughly?
Yates, this says 18 carries for $125. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. We'll go with it. Yeah, it is 18, 128. Second down and 7. 1 back, 3 receivers. 3-step drop. Ashudo steps up in trouble, able to get rid of it, and just throws behind his receiver.
Yeah, he had him.
Yep.
He had him. Just missed him with the ball.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 here for the Raiders. See what they bring out here. 13:58 left to play in this football game.
Gonzer playing smart there. He's got this half field to the boundary side on that snap, and he certainly doesn't let anything at this point in the game behind him. You know, willing to give up a 10, 12-yard completion. You don't want to see it, but you don't want to see what could be worse, anything getting behind you.
3rd down and 7. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Ashudo in the backfield. And Yates with him on his left hip. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here comes the linebacker. 5 pressure. Ashudo steps up. He's going to run. Ashudo cuts, gets hit hard, but he should have 1st down yardage.
Good effort. There's a kid that wants it.
There you go. Ashudo on 3rd and 7 picks up 8. He'll move the chains for the Raiders.
Yeah, he doesn't like to tuck it and run. You can just look at that history, that 4-game history this year. He doesn't have a lot of carries, but he's got positive yards. You know, I don't think he takes a lot of sacks, and he knows when to run it. Doesn't necessarily want to have to do it, but, you know, he's just sometimes it just calls for making a play for your teammates.
1st down and 10 here for the Raiders. Trips receivers right. Yates in the backfield with Ashudo. Slot comes in motion. Motion man is Clemmer. Rolling out, Ashudo looking downfield. Directing traffic, Ashudo airs it up, way out of play. Big collision out near midfield. Some words exchanged, no flags. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Tyler Kovic in, playing some nickel coverage here. Good job on the coverage out here.
This is a game that historically there are some words exchanged.
Kovic, Helena?
Yeah, I want to say, is he? Oh, come on, man. Kovic, Capital. 2nd and 10. Trips receivers to the wide side of the field here for Ashudo. He's completed 73% of his passes today. He's 19 of 26. 2nd and 10. 2-step drop, looking right the whole way. Airs it up, finds his man, complete across the 50-yard line. Actually, they'll mark him out of bounds at the Southern 49, but that's going to move the chains. Sawyer Cleveland, the big receiver there, 6'6", 215. He's a grad student out of Corvallis, Oregon.
Deep sideline certainly been the bread and butter of their passing game here today. Deep sideline or corner route. You know, the quarterback's just throwing him open.
1st down and 10. Ashudo between the hash marks, hits his man down to the Montana Tech 35-yard line with the reception as Barthel.
Getting a lot of man coverage out of the corners here from Montana Tech. 2 safety look.
Gain of 16, and that will move the chains. Quickly, the Raiders up to the line of scrimmage. Remember, they're down by 21. 4 receivers. Play action. Ashudo looking left. Pulls it up. He's in trouble. And a comeback route's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. Good pressure that time. Montana Tech forced him out of the pocket as Kellen Beller, the young redshirt freshman out of Stevensville, ran him out of the pocket. Heck of a job by Beller this season.
Yeah.
You know, as a redshirt freshman stepping into this linebacking core, he really has played well.
He got his feet wet last year, a couple games, then they maintained that red shirt. They pulled him out of the rotation, but, you know, obviously they thought he was ready to go and thought, let's get 4 years out of this guy. Just an outstanding player from Stevensville High School.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers right, tight to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to run reverse. Coming around the right side, across the 30, down to the 26-yard line as they get it off to Barthel. Well-executed play. It's going to be, looks like just shy of 1st down yardage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Less than 1, to be honest. 12 minutes left to play in the ball game.
3rd and 1 and obvious 2-down territory here, so
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do maybe a little play action to Yates here.
Take a shot.
You're not going to catch any defense here sleeping, I don't think. But it's always worth a shot.
Fullback is in here for Southern Oregon. Ryan Pelton, tight end, is off the left side. Yates, the deep back. Yates will get the ball. He'll get first down yardage. Keeps the feet churning. He's inside the 15, down to the 12.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, he gets tripped up at the last second by Jaden Downs.
He just trucked. Peyton Gonzer came up to make the hit. And, you know, we mentioned the size of Yates. Not overly huge there at tailback. You know, 6 foot, 205 pounds. But I tell you what, he brought all of it at Peyton Gonzer on that snap.
11:07 left to play here in this football game. 1st and 10 for Southern Oregon. Ball at the Montana Tech 13-yard line. Man in motion as a tight end. They faked it to him. They're going to run option left. Yates has a lane. Yates takes it into the end zone.
Yates has 15 touchdowns this year, 4 in this game.
Yep. Every score for Southern Oregon today has been by Yates.
He is as advertised. A really, really nice looking running back.
So that will put up some points here for Southern. Montana Tech leading 42-27. Kicking unit is in.
If you're Montana Tech, that offense, you get them ready. You go out, get that offensive line charged up. You know you're going to probably be doing the bulk of your snaps from this point forward while you have the lead on the ground. So you've got to move the sticks.
Yep. Put your head down and drive. So the kick is up. The kick is good. Montana Tech leading 42-28. 10:52 left to play in the ball game. It's homecoming here on the campus of Montana Tech, brought to us by Nucor. We have a timeout on the field, so with it, we'll take one as well. We're back here after this.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then Aim Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Hey, we're back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. Thanks for joining us. It's been a really, really, really long time since we have been in this booth. Like 36 days or 37 days or some nuts number. No games in September for Montana Tech at home.
It's been a minute. You can see I'm out of practice. Getting back to the game here, though, Montana Tech has time and time again with kickoff return. Well, of course, they housed the opener. But they've gotten great field position, and you've got to keep that up here. But most importantly, out of these two return guys, don't try and get too greedy and get sloppy with the ball. The worst thing you could do right now is turn it over.
They hit it 5 yards deep. They'll take a knee and bring it out to the 25-yard line. 10:52 left to play here in this football game. Southern Oregon, number 7 of the country. They are on a meteoric rise. They jumped 7 spots last week in the top 25 poll. Montana Tech currently number 16 in the country. And like I say, the Frontier Conference holding on to 25% of the top 16.
I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but we'll see what Southern Oregon does defensively. If they stay in their base stuff, they've done a decent job on Smith in this running game for the most part today, just staying in their base stuff. And if Montana Tech can catch them in second down, if they're walking a safety up, it'd be a good chance to get a quick stinger on a not very hard completion.
And off going to go to the edge, turning it upfield out to the 30-yard line.
Or you could just do that.
Yeah, you could just pound her up. So Lander Smith out to the 31-yard line for Montana Tech. Going to bring up 2nd down and 4.
Good job up top. I couldn't see who was blocking the perimeter up there, but maintaining the block and allowing Smith to run parallel to the line of scrimmage to find his cutback lane. Looked like he might just try the sideline, but he read the numbers of his lead blocker out there who's maintaining a block and was able to cut up inside and pick up 6 yards.
I'm trying to get Lander's numbers here. It looks like they do not have Lander's big run in the official book yet. You put him at about 120, maybe 125 yards on the day.
Well, that was a catch and run.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? It was a
pass,
reception.
yes.
You're right. My apologies. So, yeah, Lander's up to 74 yards on the ground.
And you know what they'll do when they look at that? Now, that was a swing pass, but if it was indeed a lateral, they'll go back and alter those numbers after they review film, because that swing route isn't always a forward pass.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a backwards pass, and especially how Thielen throws it.
First down and 10 here for the Digs. Going wide left is Parker Johnston. And it looks like the Wildcat might be in here. It's Thielen, though. So Thielen, split backs. Johnston, wide left. Long snap count. Thielen will hand it off. Lander Smith turns it upfield. Lander's out to the 45, 46-yard line, and he'll go down after he picks up 11. Lander Smith, ladies and gentlemen, up to 88 yards on the day. And take a look at this. He gets through that first gap, and they just throw bodies at him, and he just keeps going. Feet churning, and I like the decision here, too. He gets stood up, and you can see him just drop.
He drops and absolutely has both arms around that football.
First down and 10, Ordiggers. 8:42 left to play here in this football game. A long drive here is just as important as any kind of points. Man in motion here on the near side, tight end. Handoff is going to go to Landers again. This time the Raiders defensive front gets him after a slight gain of 1.
And I don't think you're going to see Montana Tech steer away from this. You know, you might see a different set. You might see a different motion. Something maybe with Logan Kennedy coming in and doing that hip-hop motion we used to call it. But I still think it's going to be, now they ran Renner in there. They got Smith off for a breather here. Renner is sure-handed, low to the ground, hard runner, good for this situation.
Yeah, he's had a good day today. 2 runs, 30 yards. 3 receivers. Check that, 4 receivers. Man in motion. Logan Kennedy, tight end, will stop just outside the tackle. Ball gets fumbled, and great job by Renner.
I'm not so sure the center didn't snap it like it was an under center snap.
Yeah.
That ball rolled all the way back, and it looked like it came off his rear end. So now, this...
Third and 11.
This is the call.
Okay. Go ahead, give it to me then.
I'm throwing the ball here.
Okay.
Just so you know. You're throwing the ball, right?
Yep.
Not even play action.
Brian Larson also throwing the ball, ladies and gentlemen. Parker Johnston coming in. Logan Kennedy going out. Wyatt Alexander is going to go wide right.
There's been one consistency out of this secondary is 3 deep coverage, regardless of what you're looking at here. Now they got the top side corner pressed up.
Yeah, Montana Tech, by the time they got done subbing bodies, they're going to call a timeout.
So it looks like if they see a 3 receiver set to the wide side, it looks like they're going to cloud that with the corner. That'll mean he'll just press and jam and stay in the flat, and they'll play 3 deep behind it. So you can still get 4 verticals in behind that. Just need 2 seconds, Paul. That's not asking for the world. 2 seconds.
I love how you say it like you're trying to convince me. 42-28, homecoming here for the Ordiggers. Brought to us by Nucor, and as always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. It's amazing how many people forgot to come back in at halftime that are over there in the tailgate. There's a sea of bodies still over in the tailgate.
Yeah, and the bleachers are full. It's a nice crowd here today.
I think so. We just changed over to our digital ticketing system, and I apologize if I messed up anybody's order. But I think we came into today with like 3,600 tickets sold before we even started today. 3rd and 11.
Oh, now they got a dime package in.
Trips receivers right, one of the lefts. Lander Smith was lined up left. He'll come into the backfield.
Now you run it.
Dropping back, Thielen, crossing route, and going nowhere. That's going to pick up 2, maybe 3. That'll bring up 4th down here for the Digs as the clock running. 6:50 left to play here in the football game. And as we always talk about, the Frontier Conference just going to continue to beat the tar out of each other until we get to the final game of the year. Southern Oregon, like I say, have just gone on a tear here. Started the season 4-0, 1-0 in the Frontier. Number 7 in the country.
You fake this, Paul?
Nope.
And Southern Oregon just knows they're not going to fake it. That's the best time to fake it.
So you said. And a loose spiral. Fair catch called for and brought in at the 15-yard line. And that's why we're in this booth and not either of the booths to our left or right. That's the second Hornet we've killed today, if anybody's keeping track. Our opening game of the year, we had like a dozen.
It's our first carcass.
So 6:10 left to play here in the football game. A 14-point advantage here for Montana Tech. Southern Oregon has 55 offensive plays, 385 yards as of right now. Ashudo has thrown for 219 and 1 score.
And the funny thing is I think they'll keep Yates alive. Handoff here in the back.
Agreed.
In the backfield.
So Ashudo out of the shotgun, man in motion. Looking right the whole way. Kind of an out route to the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4. As with the reception is going to be, looks like Lamar. Adric Lamar with another catch. Ashudo is at 7 different receivers here today. 2nd down and 6. Pump fake once. Ashudo flushed out of the pocket right. Looking downfield. Ashudo going to air it up deep to the sideline and no one home. Getting rid of it. Deep slant that time. Lamar was making his way downfield. Defensively, Peyton Gonzer was on him, but they were the only ones in the zip code.
A lot of guys in coverage. Pretty good job pass rush that time. Yeah, getting out of your pass rush
Personal
lane.
foul.
Ashudo
Roughing the passer.
circles the right side.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Roughing the passer?
Had to have been. So roughing the passer. 5:50 left to play here in the ball game. I was not even looking back that way.
Boy, that has to be the toughest penalty to avoid in football. You chase a quarterback all game long and you finally get there. Who cares if you're a half second late? You should be able to belt him. Larson will defend me.
1st down and 10. 4 receivers, 2 on each side of the formation for Ashudo. Play action, wants to throw. Ashudo stands up in the pocket, delivers a strike downfield, knockdown. Peyton Gonzer was there for the defensive side.
There's a few places that ball should have went on that play, and it wasn't there. They had over-under on the big tight end. And again, you step up, you start to feel a little heat. It's not hard to find that 6'6" helmet crossing the middle of the field. But, that would have been a miracle completion. You had, was it McNeil under and Gonzer over?
Yep, that's it. 2nd and 10. 5:45 remaining here in the football game. They'll bring 2 in tight, receiver on each end of the formation. Out of the shotgun is Ashudo. That pass goes wide right across the 40, out to the 43-yard line. I felt like I fell into spectator mode there for a moment as it pulls out across the 43. Going to bring up 3rd down and 2 here for the Raiders. 5:28 left to play. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 2. Ashudo going empty. Ashudo looking right, stands, airs it up downfield, has a man complete across the 40, cut back, and down to the 32-yard line is the tailback and Gunnar Yates.
Yeah, Yates is special, no doubt about it.
His 6th reception of the day. He has about 75 yards in receiving yards and 140 on the ground.
I think he just put a move on probably Tech's best defender, certainly best tackler in Whitcomb.
1st down and 10 here for the Raiders. 4:52 left to play in the football game. Raiders to the line of scrimmage, 3 receivers left. Ashudo out of the shotgun, Yates behind him. Man in motion is Clemmer. Play action, Ashudo rolling lefts. Airs it up, wide open on the sideline, and out of bounds down at the 13-yard line. Boy, there wasn't a soul near him on the sidelines.
They had 3 defenders honoring the vertical route out of Sawyer Cleveland. He runs to the goal line. Tech's got 3 defenders with him, and they just ignored the deep stop route or out route, whatever you want to call it.
4:15 left to play in the football game. Southern Oregon in the huddle, 1st and 10.
Southern Oregon still with 2 timeouts left. You're starting to worry about stopping the clock. Say you score here, and Montana Tech gets the football back.
They've run 60 offensive plays for 441 yards. Ashudo going to throw out of the backfield, goes through the hands of his fullback, and that will go incomplete. 2nd and 10. He was looking for Ryan Pelton.
Yeah, and that's when you got to, as a quarterback, you got to, we used to say KYP, know your personnel. That's a fullback. You got to just take a little off that ball, make it a little more catchable ball. He zipped that, got it through the fullback's hands a little high. Those fullbacks are padded up a little more. It's a little tougher for them to get those hands up above their helmet and make a catch.
14-point lead for the Digs. Ashudo with 1 back lined up in the pistol. Going into the backfield is Kenishiro. Ashudo through the middle, has his man. Oh, that ball almost knocked out at the goal line, and the Raiders will score. They go to the tight end right up the middle that time. Good play as Fallstick, junior out of Mud Creek, Washington, hauls in the catch for the score.
We haven't seen Montana Tech run that play, but early on against Georgetown of Kentucky, I was there that week of practice. They were working on it time and time again for Logan Kennedy. I talked about these 2 teams at almost being an inter squad here, running a lot of the same stuff, even down to that fake screen right, fake left, and then the tight end delay down the middle.
Trying to make this a 7-point game.
Perfect execution.
So the kicking unit is in. Nice drive by Southern Oregon as they pull within a score.
And that's what you call a KYP ball there, too.
Yeah.
That landed or came down like a butterfly with soft feet. Sore feet.
Or soft,
Sore
whichever.
Feet. Either or. You get the picture.
Southern Oregon, 7 plays, 84 yards in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. And the Digs lead is a touchdown, 42-35. And these Raiders will get ready to kick it off to the Digs. Montana Tech, 48 offensive plays, 343 yards. Thielen is 16 of 21 for 207 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day. Lander Smith, 20 carries for 88 yards and a pair of scores. Logan Kennedy, 6 catches for 62 yards receiving-wise for the Digs. So look to burn some clock here with a drive. Boy, you'd love to eat up the next 3 minutes and 46 seconds, just pound it down the field.
Kangaroo team out there expecting the onside kick. Not going to get it.
This one goes deep. Fair catch called for. And the Digs will bring her out, start it at the 25. Wind picking up out of the west here. As we talked about in the opening, this was crazy yesterday. It felt like a bluebird day, and then the smoke rolled in and it got nasty. Good to see you. So the Ore Diggers will start it off at the 25-yard line. Montana Tech right to left on your screen. I fell into old habits there for a second, Haskey. So they'll break the huddle.
It's still a great way to paint the picture.
Two timeouts for Southern Oregon. Montana Tech has their full complement. And Blake Thielen brings him out. He's thrown for 207 today and a pair of scores. Heavy formation. Man in motion is Torgerson. Handoff going to go to Landers. Landers out to the 30. Boy, it looked like I had to have thought there was a significant face mask in there.
Is that what that, yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, his head got drugged down significantly. So it should be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, number 97 on defense. 15-yard penalty
going
from
to
the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Southern Oregon from having to call a timeout.
The 2-minute timeout will help them as well.
And that clock will start again, right?
Yes, indeed. Once we get the go sign, we should be all right. 7-point lead here for Montana Tech, 42-35. First down and 10 for the Digs. One back. Receivers tight on the right side. Blake Thielen. Hand off to Lander Smith. Smith again across midfield to the 49-yard line of Southern Oregon.
Good job up front.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Everyone in the building knew that Landers was getting that football, and yet he still gets 6.
Well, you know, by and large, it's been that case for the last now 3 series, counting this series, and they've moved the ball pretty good. You know, they've gotten everything they wanted out of the running game.
2nd down and 4, clock running.
You're just against a team that's whatever an 0, 3 or 4-0. Coming in number 7 in the country, you're just not going to get 6 yards of carry against them. You got to take your lumps, but you got to believe in what you're doing and execute.
Play clock down to 2. Thielen will snap it at 1. Hand off to Landers again. Nothing there. Landers loses his footing a little bit and hits the turf. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Clock will run to the 2-minute timeout. Unless Southern wants to take a timeout here and get another break.
I don't think they will. I think they're comfortable. They got Montana Tech with 3rd and 5, and they're going to go to the 2-minute timeout, knowing they just need a stop, and they could potentially get the ball back, regardless of where it is on the field, with close to 2 minutes left.
2 minutes timeout.
And 2 timeouts.
So we have a timeout on the field, so with it, we'll take one. It's homecoming here on Digger Vision, brought to us by Nucor. Montana Tech leading 42-35. We'll take a timeout, we'll get the other scores, and we'll be back here right after this.
Now's the time to get into Butte Auto and custom build your own ride just the way you want it. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech, the 2-minute timeouts. 3rd down and 5 here for the Digs. Lander Smith in the backfield, Blake Thielen out of the shotgun. Southern has 4 guys on the defensive front. Thielen roll out right side, pass complete, 1st down yardage and more. Logan Kennedy spins at the 35 down to the 32-yard line.
Huge.
Catch number 7 on the day for Logan.
Huge play. They stayed in tight, too tight with Torgerson at the wing. And hard play action in the backfield. I mean, you have to believe defensively that they're going to try and throw the ball, and then they give you that set, right? Too tight.
Timeout.
Torgerson in tight at the slot, or in
the
the tight Z receiver, and good hard play action. And Kennedy's able to push down and release into the flats. Simple completion.
Thielen comes over, gets some love from his coach as there is a timeout. Southern Oregon uses their 2nd timeout here of the football game. The Digs are on the road next week, down to Dillon. They'll be taking on the Bulldogs.
What's Kennedy got for catches? Is this his best game as Nordigger?
You know, that's a really good question.
His biggest game?
Currently has 7 catches. Yep. Let me see if I can dig that up here before we get back into action here. Logan Kennedy, 7 catches today. Montana Tech leading by a touchdown. I would assume it is.
Yeah, I just don't remember him. I remember him getting off to a couple good starts in games, 3 or 4 catches early and never really being in the picture again. But regardless, he's had a great game here today. Catching the ball, moving the chains, some key blocks, no doubt, both in Thielen's scramble, that kind of stuff. He's been solid, a great effort out of Logan, win, lose, or draw here today.
Out of the shotgun, Blake Thielen. Looks like pressure coming from the edges. In motion, Levi Torgerson, he'll get it. Torgerson turns upfield, gets hit hard at the 32-yard line. He'll get a yard.
Hello, good job getting down the line of scrimmage. Iona Purcell 6', 215-pound linebacker got a running start at Torgerson after he'd been wrapped up and was there to polish him off.
That's their final timeout of the half.
Heck of a play by that young man.
So there goes Southern Oregon's last time out. Montana Tech will be able to burn another roughly 80 seconds. Am I right?
Yes, indeed. You move the chains.
It's over.
She's over. Montana Tech leads 42-35. The other games going under that are underway in the Frontier Conference. College of Idaho leading Rocky 42-31. Again, that one's in Billings. About 12 minutes left in that one. And Northern has a pair of scores as Carroll College leading Northern 36-12. That one about 5 minutes remaining. So yeah. Southern out of timeouts.
Carroll's put it in coast mode too a couple times. Yeah. Down at Arizona Christian, I watched part of that game. They were up 28-0 quick and just never really did anything else. You know, I think it ended up 28-0, didn't it?
I think so, actually. Yeah.
You know, and I think that was early into the second quarter when it went 28-0.
Thielen hands it off. Landers Smith straight ahead down to the 28-yard line. Gain of 4. So Landers, that puts him over 100 on the day. 24 carries, I'd say about 103.
And once again, he's had to earn them all.
Yeah.
But just a fantastic effort out of him here today because, you know, probably half of his rushes have been when everybody on the planet knew he was getting the ball. And, you know, just hard effort and a good job up front. Those guys, tackle to tackle, tight end to tight end, believe in him, and he believes in them. And you know, Tech's been able to run the ball effectively enough and manage the clock here today to hopefully get away with a win.
Landers Smith officially 24 carries, 101 yards.
Please reset
he
the
has
game
2
clock
catches for 56 yards as well.
Thank you.
So the Diggs call a timeout.
Montana Tech, second charge timeout of the half.
As they let the play clock get all the way down here.
You know, and I'm not so sure, you know, I've told you this, say off camera quite a few times. If I was to go back and coach and try to direct an offense, I would go to the back, out of the backfield more. I'm not so sure I wouldn't do that more with Landers Smith. He's proven he can catch the ball. And to get him out on the edge against guys that aren't 210, 230 pounds.
180?
Yeah, and see how they like that coming up and squaring up him because he arrives in what Coach used to call bad humor.
Yeah.
And, you know, that gets tiring. You know, it's easy to drop your pads or go low and just get stepped over. And, yeah, I mean, it really becomes a headache tackling somebody that size when you're not near his size.
Blocking back in the backfield as well. Tight end, Logan Kennedy moves left. 3rd down and 7. Handoff going to go, and Landers gets wrapped up at the 35-yard line.
Oh, I hope that didn't take him back under 100 yards.
I think maybe. So that is tackled that time by Purcell. Iona Purcell out of Hawaii. He's really had a nice ball game here for Southern. 4th down and 12, play clock ticking away.
Now I think, you know, I don't even think you mess with the timeout unless you want it. I think you take the delay here.
Yep, agreed.
You know, give your punter another 5 yards of room.
Let Andrew try and knock it down into coffin corner and go from there. 7-point lead, Montana Tech, 42-35. Southern, number 7 in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country.
Or you may not want to deal with a long snap.
We talked about the idea of the pass being basically a punt earlier. Do you step back and launch one downfield?
I was just thinking that. Sit back and throw one up into the air now near the goal line. Gets picked off, it gets picked off.
13 seconds remaining here in the football game. Tremendous football game here today. These two always just fantastic games. Like I said, the one that always jumps out to me is that double overtime game, I think in 2012. Head coach Chuck Morrell's first game. Then you go when Southern Oregon was number 1 in the country. Montana Tech was number 9 in the country. That game in Ashland was incredible.
A little lower scoring.
I'm so sorry, what was Southern's quarterback's name? I keep bringing up.
I want to say Carr.
That's driving me crazy. Gosh, he was so good. 4th down and 12 here for the Digs. The offense stays out. So Thielen out of the shotgun, and he's going to pooch punt it. End-over-end kick, bounces at the 12, jumps in the air, rolls down to the 7, and it'll be blown dead with 3 seconds left. So 1 snap is what Southern Oregon will get at the 7-yard line. And Blake Thielen now has a punt inside the 20.
So what play do you have for 1st and 93?
I mean, do you do the idea of almost like hook and ladder to Yates? Do you have him as the second receiver, hit somebody long, and then pitch it back? You go to the 6'6" receiver and have him drop it off to Yates behind and go?
I go to the ground with the ball in Yates' hand. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and in my eyes, that's kind of the way I look at it. I go to the big receiver or the big tight end and then let him drop it back. Montana Tech has 3 safeties at midfield. 3 seconds left. The Digs, 3 guys on the defensive front, if you want to call it that, all outside tackles. Dropping back, slant route, they fake the pitch. Across the 30, they'll throw it back. Goes crossfield, over the head of a lineman. Goes to the ground, and Montana Tech going to jump on the football. That's game. The Orediggers are going to get the win at home. 42-35. The number 16 team in the country has taken down the number 7 team in the country. And Montana Tech going to get a huge win as they will go to 2-1 in Frontier Conference play. Southern Oregon will fall to 1-1 in Frontier Conference play. Just a great ball game here by the Digs. As, again, Southern Oregon 1-1 in the Frontier. They'll go to 4-1 overall. Montana Tech 2-1 in the Frontier and 4-1 overall.
Yeah, it did. People were asking me what I thought about today's game, and I said Montana Tech would have to play really well to win this football game, and I thought they played a really good ball.
Executed football. As we look to wrap this thing up, Montana Tech ran 55 offensive plays, 369 yards. On the other side, Southern 62 offensive plays for 454 on the day. A couple of big turnovers. Really kind of the tail of this one. Montana Tech gets a huge fumble, and then just 2 big turnovers really were a huge factor.
As simple as that turnover looked, and I'm going back to the one. The mishandled snap by Ashuto there in the backfield. That was kind of the turning point in the game. You know, Tech got another turnover right on the replayed fumble on the return, but that was the one that took Tech to a 2-score lead, and Southern Oregon was having to deal with that the rest of the game.
42-35, our final. Here is a look at our replay here throughout this ball game as we take a look at some of the highlights. As Logan Kennedy, just a huge game for him as he gets 7 catches on the day. Huge stiff arm as he gets shoved out of bounds there. Really a big, big day for Logan Kennedy.
Had a good day, and he's had a nice career. He's dealt with some injuries, but God, it seems like he's been here for 8 seasons. It really has.
That stiff arm is so good. So Logan Kennedy, a monster day here for Montana Tech. Then we see down here on the end, back inside to Pierce as he hauled it in. As Montana Tech, just a huge, huge game here. Back of the end zone, Pierce gets the touchdown, his 2nd of the year. Just talking about how deep that tight end group is. As the replay continuing along here. So let's do this. Should we want to hop into numbers, Haskey? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, we can, but I was just going to say what we don't probably talk enough about Lander Smith's success. I mean, it's one thing tackle to tackle, but their H-backs and their tight ends are so integral in their passing attack, whether they're coming in hip-hop motion, bring them from outside in or across the set. They do a great job. They don't miss. They stay on their feet. They get downfield, and they really work for each other.
I mean, you sit here and watch, and we've got Lander Smith after Lander Smith just going back and forth, and here's how the game started. This was the start of this bad boy on the kickoff. As here comes Levi Torgerson up the sideline. Oh, I apologize. I thought that was the return. So there I am being wrong as usual.
Here, this might be it. It was right to left on our dial.
There you go.
I remember right.
Levi Boy, look at that gap, and he hits the seam here. Now, again, we go back and quote his brother saying he was the slow one, right?
Yeah.
Do you see anybody catching him right there?
No,
I don't see anybody catching him either. Montana Tech again, 369 yards on the day, 55 offensive plays. Blake Thielen was 17 of 22 for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception today. Receiving Logan Kennedy, 7 catches for 80 yards and a score. Lander Smith, 2 catches for 56. Levi Torgerson, 5 catches for 51, and again, a 95-yard kickoff return for a score. Wyatt Alexander, 3 catches for 38 yards for Montana Tech. On the ground, Lander Smith, 25 carries, 101 yards on the day. Ethan Renner, 3 carries for 30. And Christian Vetter, 2 carries for 15 yards. On the other side, for Southern Oregon, they ran 64 offensive plays for 494 yards. Ashudo was 29 of 39 for 309 and 2 scores. Receiving-wise, Barthel had 6 catches for 84. Yates, 6 catches for 78. Cleveland, 6 catches for 65. Let's see, on the ground, Yates ran the ball 19 times for 141. Hidalgo, 3 carries for 24 yards, and Ashudo carried the ball 3 times for 29 yards. The Digs didn't get to Ashudo, but it wasn't their main goal. Like, they wanted contain, make sure that Yates was the guy they were looking at first.
You know, other than the mishandled snap, Ashudo played a really good game of football here today. Up front, I thought they played a good game. Yates is a marked man, right? He's going to be a marked man the rest of the season.
Yep.
And Montana Tech did what they could with him. But, they played well. It was just a couple turnovers were the difference, and I thought Montana Tech took advantage of a couple opportunities, getting right back to the opening kickoff. What a great way to start the game. A couple turnovers, used modern technology for a replay that got a turnover down inside the 10-yard line. Those are the kind of things that, maybe or maybe not, do they always take advantage of that kind of stuff. But, good game top to bottom here today. Big, exciting win. And a good bounce back from a real tough loss last week down in Caldwell, Idaho.
42-35, our final. Montana Tech gets the win, and we will see what happens on Monday when we get the top 25 released again. We'll see what happens as we continue to juggle.
It's time to start looking.
And, I mean, it is.
You know, we never looked. You know, they talk about it. We never really looked until you get to the mid or second part of that season. Then you have to look.
Yeah. So a big one next week as well. Montana Tech down to Western, and then they'll be home for Simpson, who will be joining the Frontier Conference next season as a full football member. So our final here, 42-35, Montana Tech takes down Southern Oregon. For Ron Haskin, I'm Paul Panisco, our incredible crew as well, with Barrett, Jason, Tony, and the whole crew. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon. Until next time, take care.